Hello, everyone, and welcome to SciFi Vision Presents School Spirit Split River Keys for February 19th. Tonight we have the 6th episode to look to see. I don't even have the thing up for School Spirits. And
what's the title?
It's Children of the. I want to say corn, but that's not it. It's Children of something.
Children of the Corn.
It's a play on Children of the Corn. I don't have the sorry, I didn't have the episodes up. But let's see, Children of the Scorned. That's what it is, Children of the Scorned. But welcome everybody. Thank you if you stuck by us. Sorry that we're having a little bit of technical difficulties here. Yeah, I saw that, Dieter. That really sucks. Eric Dane passed away. That was another thing. So many celebrities lately, right?
I know.
A lot of news on that. B says there's a bad echo. Is there still an echo? I don't know. It sounds okay on my end. Do you hear an echo, Scarlet?
I don't hear echo. Do you hear echo when I'm talking?
No, you sound okay to me. Jen sounds fine. I mean, I know you're the one on a different system, but you sound fine to me. I don't hear an echo, so I don't know. Let us know if you keep hearing it, B. I don't know. And everybody else, let us know if you're hearing okay or you're all having the issue. But echo, yeah. No, hopefully we aren't echoing. But anyway, as I was saying, welcome everybody. Thank you if you're joining us. We have is there 10 episodes or 8? I think I asked this last week.
There should be 8.
There should be
8.
That kind of stinks. We only have 2 left, so we're pretty far along. But yeah. We will do episode 6 tonight. But thank you if you're here. Please make sure you like the video, hype it if you can, subscribe to SciFi Vision, and it's always appreciated. And yeah. So, Scarlet, why don't you go first? What did you think of the episode?
This episode had a lot going on. I have so many theories.
I know. I want to hear them. I didn't get to read them all, but I'm like thinking maybe it's better to save it for the live too. Then
I'm gonna save it for the last part. But it was action packed, and I really enjoyed it. It gave us a lot of lore.
Yeah,
from down below.
That's true too. I really liked it too. I like that the story's really moving along far, but I didn't like that it was over.
It's got to move along.
No, but I mean, it was moving along before, but I mean, it got to the end and I'm like, no, don't end it. No. So it had a crazy ending. And I know, Jen, you haven't seen all of it yet, but what did you think about the part that you did see so far?
I wound up watching the first about, I'd say 35 minutes of it. And then I had to run, but there was a lot going on. Like you said, it was really action packed. I feel like every episode this season, more and more has been going on. It's not really dragged out. But when I left, I was like, oh, I got to find out what's going on. So that's like the intensity and the intrigue has been building, especially with this episode. And I mean, if you felt like that by the end, and I felt that way halfway through, I mean, I can't wait to finish the episode. So I have it in the background playing. So hopefully I can kind of catch it on TV in the background.
For it. I was going to say Scarlet has a lot of theories. I have some theories. I don't know whether our theories match up. We'll find out. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, B says there was a lot that was going on. There was so much. We'll go like we normally do in order and try to not talk about the end until we get to the end. So that way, hopefully, you'll have caught up by then. Or if you don't want to hear us talk about the end, you can disconnect. Whatever you want to do. But so hopefully we'll try not to spoil you. All right, let's see. So this episode is mostly, I mean, not mostly, but it centers around Kyle. I feel like a lot of it, since it's about finding who hijacked his body. Yeah, I mean, Scarlet, you've been having all different theories of who took. Now, did you see yet who it was, Jen? Before I said, did you?
No, but you can go ahead and ruin it for me.
Let her finish.
It's okay. I took that risk on by being here, so I'm all about it. Don't worry about it, because I want to know if it's the person I thought it was. So by all means, go ahead.
Oh, I have something we could. I can. Oh, sorry. I have something we could talk about. Okay, while Jen finishes, do you think, Jamie, that I'm inspired here by Maddie's zombie shirt, which I do believe is the Fulci Fuica Romero zombie film. Do you think there might be a zombie apocalypse by the end of this season?
I hope not.
Do you think zombies are going to come?
Well, I mean, kind of they sort of are if they're body hopping a little bit. I feel like because they're kind of dead but kind of not dead. So
Because I was thinking that Maddie like wore that Carrie shirt and then she got sprayed with blood and then she's got the zombie shirt and I'm like, is this kind of foreshadowing a plot point that's going to happen?
maybe I hope they don't go completely there though, because I feel like that's not what the show is. Like I get what you're saying, but that's why I'm saying. Could you consider what it is now, though, sort of a zombie because it's like a dead person in a live person's body? So I could kind of see that as being a form of a zombie now, and that it could be referencing that.
Yeah.
Hey Fletch, yeah. Who else we got? Kimberly B, Dieter, Fletcher. I was making sure I got everybody. I think I got everybody. If I missed you, sorry. I think I got everybody. But Kimberly, I think I said that. But hi everybody, welcome. Yeah, I was as I was getting ready to say, I don't know that talking about who it is really actually going to spoil her anyway, because it's not like it's a person that you're going to know the moment you see it. So it's yeah.
Is it somebody that we haven't seen yet? Like it's been like a background character that we kind of really didn't pay attention to? Because that's what I was thinking, but I don't know who it would be, even if I thought that. That's just where I was going with it.
Yeah. Well, you'll see.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't think us talking about it is really gonna spoil it, because I've just been, at least in my notes, I just called him Kyle in quotation marks anyway. So it's like, we don't know until near the end exactly who it is.
But we all have an idea, Jamie.
Yes, we have an idea, but I think
idea going in.
But I think Jenn more meant like, who is it, like a live person we meant? Isn't that what you meant? Like somebody we know?
That's what I meant. If it's a live somebody that we've seen already.
Right.
Right. Like another teacher or something, or somebody in the hospital.
Yeah, this is what Kyle looks like. You'll see what Kyle looks like finally. Thank you, Dieter. I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much, Dieter. It's always appreciated. Yeah, I don't know, Scarlet. I just wanted to ask you, I mean, you had all kinds of theories of who it was going to be. Were you disappointed that it wasn't one of the things you thought?
Well, what I thought when I talked to in our group chat, because you guys kind of like watch it a little later because I watched it a couple times, is I had this whole theory last week that it was going to be like this J&L supportive development company was going to be Jeff Lehman, who is Claire's stepdad, and Kyle Henson, which would be the J in it, that would be Livia's stepdad, because Livia has a stepdad that's always mentioned, but we never see him. And I thought, oh, it's going to be Kyle. But now Kyle is a dairy mogul, so he's doing cow stuff, I guess. I mean, not that he can't also, I mean, if he's like a really shrewd businessman, he couldn't have his finger also in the J&L supporting development. But that was kind of disappointing to me, but it only made me feel like he needed a dairy and a farm just so we could have a corn maze.
Yeah, maybe. That's true. But no, I kind of agree with you, and going back sort of to what Jenn was saying, like I expected us to know who Kyle was as somebody we had seen before, as opposed to being like a different actor.
Yeah, because like last week I thought it might be Claire's stepdad.
Yeah,
but it wasn't, because I looked up his name and his name's Jeff Lehman.
I didn't think they would introduce somebody new this late into the season, because I knew we were already at episode 6. So I was just assuming, based on that presumption, that it would be somebody that we had seen before. I was even thinking, like, I even went back to episode 1 of season 2 when we saw Xavier in the hospital, and I'm like looking around for like any attendants or who could that be, or even somebody that looked like it was a ghost sitting with the other ghost but wasn't, but actually was real, which we wouldn't be able to tell. But I was like marking each one of them. That's kind of the research I did over this week waiting. But then again, because of other personal reasons, I wasn't able to watch the entire episode. So like now I'm like dying to know, and the fact that you guys know is like killing me inside. I'm like, I gotta know.
Spoil it for you. I don't want you to be spoiled. But yeah, it wasn't what I expected. But I wasn't satisfied with the way it went. A different kind of reveal maybe would have been a little better, but I still liked it.
Well, the thing about Kyle with me is I thought they were going to use another actor to play older.
Ooh, now I'm really intrigued. Oh my God.
Let's see. I was going to say, does it?
Well, he would be like 20 years older, so I thought, they're going to get another actor, so it could be a lot of other people. So I wouldn't be looking at somebody that looks like our, young Kyle with a beard.
I was going to say, I don't even know. I was going to look to see what the name of the actor is. That's Ari's the younger one, so that's going to be the regular.
I was even looking back.
It's the same guy.
Remember the carnival scene that we saw not so long ago when they were all in like the carnival? I went back to there because I felt like the people around Xavier were really kind of weird. And there was one guy that was like kind of really into the girl that was, the
Yeah.
So I was like, it's got to be him. I know we don't know him. That was the only one-off character that I thought it was him. And I think I mentioned in the last live stream, like the guy sitting next to Xavier is like so into the show. He like kind of freaks me out. So that was like my last resort. I'm like, maybe that first reaction was him. So, I mean, I still don't know who it is, but I mean, I don't know. Did you ladies see him in any other scenes in this season so far? Or is it like completely brand new?
I don't know, because I didn't realize if Scarlet's right. Hold on. I'm looking for the cast to look for old photos because I can see the person that plays him, but
I need the actor with a beard, Jamie.
That's what I mean. I didn't realize if it was
a beard on him. It's called acting, Jamie. He's an actor, genius.
Yes,
I'm aware.
I didn't realize that. That is funny. If it really, I'm just trying to see if they have here in the other pictures where he's at, but I don't see him in the damn pictures from before. I was trying to see one from before. No.
I am not cheating.
Oh, wait, here it is. Yeah, it is. You're right, Scarlet. You're 100% right. I'm sorry. I really didn't realize it was him. I guess I'm dumb because I didn't.
He's a great actor then, obviously.
Yeah, clearly. But it made him look older. Yeah. But yeah, I didn't realize it. I really didn't. And B saying I suspected who it was that took Kyle's body, and I was right, but I don't remember seeing Kevin's older body in the scene. Kyle, I assume you mean Kyle. Yeah. Kyle's older body in the scene. Yeah, I don't think we did.
We never saw Kyle with a beard running around in the
we didn't see Kyle with a beard.
Yeah. Which is disappointing. I wish it was like Jen said. I wish that would have been not a new. It's not a new character because it's the same Kyle with a beard, but Yeah. No, it was somebody we knew, like Claire's stepdad or somebody that was known.
Yeah, she suspected the right person and she got it right.
Yeah, but it's still the same actor. So but I don't know. I'm not, like I said, I don't know that I'm disappointed it was the same actor. It was okay. It was. I just would have liked a different, like Scarlet was saying, a different kind of reveal maybe could have been cooler, but it maybe didn't fit the story. That's a close up of him there.
Like maybe he was doing something at the Harvest Festival. But I mean, it might be too much because I'd be like, that looks like the younger Kyle with a beard.
Yeah, that's true. But for all we know, he could have been in one of the background scenes. And if we go back later, we'll see it.
He's in all the background scenes.
Probably. We'll go look and find out. So a lot of this is about him being, at the beginning, is about him being frustrated about the person having taken his body. And right now they say that Kyle, his name was Casey Jensen, Kyle, that he's, like we said, a dairy mogul. So he's got money. I don't know. I mean, I'm guessing Kyle didn't before, unless his father did or his mother did or whatever, and he got it from his parents. I'm assuming that maybe he made it. He was supposed to be, I think, a shrewd businessman, or they say something about that. So I assume he's made it since then. I don't know. I kind of wondered if there was a possibility, though, we were going to find out that the person that like stole his body maybe was like not the same now as they were when they stole the body, because we talked about like last time a little bit sort of about that, and like this person's been living in his body for whatever it was, 30, I don't remember how many it was, years, 30 years, whatever. I guess it wasn't 30, 20. Did he have a family? Is because he could have changed, but I'm gathering he didn't change. It seems like
he seems like a single dude, dairy business guy. I mean, I didn't see a family. I didn't see family photos in that house. I didn't see anything that was like, "Hey, I got a little lady and some kids."
Yeah, it showed him.
That's probably convenient.
That was about it. We saw a picture of Kyle as a kid, and that was about the extent of it, I think, in the house.
Well, all right. Well, my whole theory is if you're trying to put a soul in a body, but the body's older, like, but that person has a life, kind of like in Pluribus.
Oh yeah.
So how would they would wake up, they would have their body back, but they would have a completely different life that they didn't create for like 20 years.
Yeah, I
Right.
assume he'll just I'm assuming he's eventually going to get back in his body. At least that's my guess. I don't know, but
I think so too.
yeah, I think he'll just have had lost time. I think he's going to be, the age he is.
Yeah, it'd be like, great, now I'm middle aged. Didn't have any
Yeah.
time in between. I was a teenager, now I'm middle aged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really
I wonder if, because it's a different soul, they wouldn't be able to keep any of the memories. So you wouldn't even know how those 20 years went by, right? You have no clue. Just step into a new body, new life, and maybe not even be able to remember how the body got that far, or why that body has that career or anything like that, right?
Can't remember how to milk cows. Can't remember how to milk the cows and take care of the farm.
No, but Maddie never remembered any of what Janet did in her body.
Yeah.
So you're probably right.
Yeah,
that makes it even worse a bit.
That's what I was saying. I'm like, that's got to be worse. Like, you don't even know where your car keys are. Like, you don't know anything else is in your house, and that's not even like your house. Like, you're completely lost. It's like waking up from a coma or amnesia. Like, you have no memory whatsoever. I think that's probably the scariest part. Like, yeah, you got your body back, but you have no idea what to do because for 20 years you have no idea what's happened.
Yeah, lost 20 years of their life. It's gonna suck, but hopefully he'll eventually get his body back. We can hope. So a lot of it is them kind of researching everything, and still her father is trying to help. They are intending to try to. Yeah, I see her zombie shirt. I'm looking at it now because what you said. See, I don't know enough like zombie movies to know. I can zoom in on it. There's like a quote. There's some. All I can see is the girl has blue hair. It looks
I'm assuming it's a Giorgio Amaro Fucci one. I don't know how to say Fucci. It's Fuici.
I don't know. Zombie has tentacles, so
it's Italian director. It's kind of like a Dario Argento type director, but it reminds me of that style. I couldn't find it online, but I have a feeling it's like a homage to that.
Yeah,
that
definitely.
Particular movie. Named Zombie. It's named Zombie.
It's funny because I watched it really quickly. I didn't realize it was a zombie shirt. I thought that was like an anaconda shirt. It looked like a big snake eating a girl. And I just watched the new Anaconda. So when I first saw the shirt, it didn't click on me because I've got so much going on. I was like, this is a snake eating somebody. Just the way it all looks, it looks like it's like a cobra or something like that, or some type of snake. And now they're saying zombie. I'm like, what are you talking about? And I just listened. I was like, oh, completely went right over my head.
No, yeah, it's some kind of octopus tentacles or something around it. It looks like on the shirt. So Nicole and Claire have been trying to help too, but they've been helping on the other end of it, trying to find. God, I already lost his name. What's his name? Van Height.
Van Height.
Alfred to his friends.
Yeah, so they've been trying. He's Alfred to you. So they've been trying to find out information on him and the church. They haven't been able to really find anything much, not anything super helpful anyway. They found a little bit about the guy, but not so much about the church and about the murder and everything. But they're still trying to help as best they can with not being able to see anybody and interact with them. They do a pretty good job with what they are doing. Even
they got the article with him in the casket.
Yeah,
I remember.
The one line I remember, they were like, this guy makes Dateline look like a playground or something. That's the one line I remembered. I was like, oh, I know exactly what reference that means.
That's funny, yeah. I kind of wonder though if this whole scene, the whole point of this is just so we see a picture of him, so we recognize him when we see him in the flashback. I think that's the whole point of this. Is for us to see that newspaper article or whatever kind of article it was. I don't know if it was a magazine or newspaper. For that reason. I'm sorry, I didn't get a picture of it. I was going fast in him and I did not.
But he clearly looks like the guy that people have been seeing around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was gonna say we saw him before in the flashback, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I thought so. All right. So then Livy comes up and she found the iPad, which we knew was coming. I was really disappointed that they didn't look at it yet because I think she did something. And I think Scarlet, I don't know if it was you or Kimberly had said earlier that they didn't look at it. I think, there's something that's been done.
I'm sure for one, she copied that whole thing. And then two, did she talk to Simon's parents? Did she write Simon's missing, or Simon did this, or you need to get to high school.
Does she dislike Simon though? Like, is there a reason for her to hate Simon? Because that's the only thing, is that it wouldn't be necessarily hurting Maddie. That would be hurting Simon.
It's Maddie's friend.
That's Maddie, yeah.
Necessarily cares, but I don't know that would help her against Maddie necessarily. I mean, she does have a picture from it apparently that she shows her mother later, which I don't know what the point of that was, because her mother dismissed it, and it just to me looked like a picture of a real rear view mirror shot of Maddie, and I don't know what that was supposed to show. So
that's from season 1 when Janet took her body and ran over and like backed up the car and hit Xavier and put Xavier in the hospital at the very finale of season 1, and then that led us into season 2. So I think she's trying to prove that it was Maddie that hit Xavier to get Maddie like arrested, kicked out, some kind of charges because there was a hit and run and she got away with it, and they kind of covered that up. Am I right, Scarlet?
Yeah, I think that. That, and she's probably investigating more into all the. Olivia's going to get sucked into this, right?
Of course. To be honest, can I be honest?
Too far, she's going to go hang over a puddle too far, and then she's going to be in it.
All right. So I don't know about you, Scarlet, but with all the body swapping, I don't like Olivia. I think that's kind of clear, like none of us do, because she's just a mean girl. So I'm really hoping like Rhonda takes over her body. Let Rhonda live a little. They kind of have that same like hairstyle look. So seeing this, and when she came out with the iPad, for one, I thought she was going to do something way worse with the iPad and not just admit that she took it. So I was kind of shocked that she did that. I was like, okay, she's clearly smart enough to try to pull something off, but not a mastermind to actually really pull something off. So I'm like, I hope she tries to step in it. Rhonda gets mad and like she's in the school and like pushes through and like takes over her body. I would love to see her as Olivia and like be a better Olivia than the actual Olivia. Not that I'm like really wanting the body swap, but for her, I think it's justified. I'm like, take her body, Rhonda. Go live it up for a day or two.
Yeah, she could even just do something like embarrassing and then go out of her body so she gets blamed, or something crazy. But yeah, that would be cool. I have some theories later, but we'll get.
But I think the main reason Olivia was doing it is to try to impress her mom. She's always been trying to impress Jennifer Tilly for some reason. And I think the reason she didn't say a lot is that she was going to say, "Hey, Mom, look what I did," but then met with disappointment when Dr. Deborah Hunter Price doesn't want to give her full attention.
I love when you say the whole name.
It does seem like it does seem like that was a big part of it, and it wasn't all because of Maddie. And she does want her attention. So yeah, we'll find out how that goes. But yeah, they need to look at the iPad. That's my main complaint, is I want to know what's on it. And they have
do you think she talked to Simon's parents or sent him a text or middle?
I don't know. I don't know. I think she's more focused on trying to do something to Maddie. I think that she showed her that photo. I think that photo is definitely maybe incriminating for the reasons you said, but I think there's something. The other thing is I could see her threatening Maddie and being like, if you don't do what I say, I'm going to call Simon's parent. You know what I mean? Like rather than her actually doing it, using it as a threat, I could see that happening too. So yeah, I don't know, but they need to check it, and we won't get that right away. So Simon has come back again from going in the Scar, and he saw the, whatever you want to call it, flashback vision of what happened with who they think is Van Height and the whole thing with the church. And he's like, yeah, he locked the door. He trapped the kids. He is making assumptions based on what he's seen, that maybe he didn't see the whole thing yet, but this is at this point what's going on there. But all of them are being negatively affected by going in this Scar. They mention, I don't think they mention it at this point, but they mention it later on, about that it's making them all, it's affecting them all. And that's why they're telling Simon not to go in, that he needs rest and all this. And that's also why Quinn is scared to go in, it seems like, or at least doesn't want to go in. They're also worried because of Simon. They're like, I'm sorry I hit you.
I think Quinn's worried about hitting Simon again.
To be fair, you would think after that whole debacle that like they would quit pulling Simon away, because they did it, I think, like 2 more times after that. I'm like, why are you pulling him away? He told you to let him see what happened, and you did it again. So that I was like wanting to yell at them at that point. And he also takes the ring out, which we know, later has a purpose of us seeing that again. But they think it was Van Heights, and they're trying to figure out what's going on.
I was really like shocked and surprised, but kind of almost not, that oh my God, I can't think of his name right now. That the teacher that was like the Janet's bad person that burned. I can't think of his name. What?
Mr. Martin.
Thank you. That Mr. Martin. I was really surprised that Mr. Martin was like, oh, Simon found this, considering that he was like hoarding all of the other like keys for all the other ghosts. I'm like, oh, he's actually on board now. It doesn't look like he has some alternative agenda. He kind of really felt like he was helping out in this episode, and I kind of like that. I was like, about time. I was like, maybe you realize this like involves all of you, especially if they're going to bulldoze over the school. So
I like that they seem like they've forgiven him somewhat too.
Yeah.
Looking or listening to him. B had said it seems like Simon's parents would have been blowing up his phone big time right away. That's a good point. If she had told them, we would be hearing something about it probably in the episode. So it might be she's waiting to do something, or she added something. I mean, I don't know. Maybe she added something to the text. She might have texted him something we haven't seen, as opposed to he's missing. It could just be something else she texted. I don't know. We will hopefully find out soon at any rate. But yeah, Simon wants to go back, wants to see more of the vision. They're kind of afraid to let him go back because it's affecting him. I mean, it's affecting all of them, but it seems like it's affecting him the worst. So they don't want him to go in. But he's, wants to go in anyway. And then I feel like I'm missing something in this scene. It might just be them all talking about it, I guess. Is that the shot you were talking about, Scarlet? I know you were saying something about the overhead shot.
It had this really great circular shot in the beginning that went from person to person to person as they were talking. It kind of glided along. It didn't glide so well on my streaming service. It was kind of chunky and choppy, but I got it.
Well, I was taking notes, so I missed it, but I saw you mentioned it. So, but I like too that they are showing them all there. That's
I like the cinematography of the show. They take a lot of chances and make a lot of choices. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it works out. There's the ring, which, like I said, will come into play later.
Has his initials on it.
Yeah, Van Height. Yeah. And then Maddie wants to talk. Yeah, the greenhouse is cool looking. I like the greenhouse too. I don't know. Like I said before, we never had a greenhouse at our school, but then again, we weren't allowed to leave during the day either for like they are. So they have like a mini campus there. So Maddie goes with Wally to have a conversation alone with him. And this is where I'm trying to see if there's anything specifically they say. Maybe not what they say, but
what they do.
She says something like about, I don't remember what she says. She says something about touching him, and he said something like, "Oh, I wish I could touch you anywhere," or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was, but something flirting with her. Oh, they copy the necklace again, which I still have a problem with the fact that they didn't duplicate it. We talked about
the
scar, would it come out with them? I still think that somewhere in there they didn't explain what happened right, or they're not following their own rules, because it should have stayed, but it didn't. So yeah, something is an issue there. But they have some flirting, and then they're all over each other and like they're gonna make out. No, they can't, and unfortunately, and and this is where I said, like, in the chat, I think it must have been really interesting to film this scene, though, because they would have had to be careful not to bump into each other, like, physically, literally.
Bump noses.
Yeah.
Because if they did, you'd notice they did. So they probably had to be really careful. But unfortunately,
I watched another channel called Previously On with Julianne Bowen, and she said, would it be really weird if like somebody like Livia came in and filmed this and it'd just be like Maddie sitting on top of a car?
Oh, I want to see that. I mean, I don't want it. That didn't sound right. It would be fun. I want to see
that.
No, I would like to see the funny part of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know how she would explain that. Like, how do you explain that? Like, I was having sexy time on top of the car by myself.
Well,
like,
I
so
mean,
weird.
I was watching that French film Titan, where the woman has sex with a car and then gets pregnant by a car. It's a family film. Everyone should watch.
You watch interesting movies, Scarlet. You always got.
It won awards, man. It won awards at the con. The cons.
Cons. Well, could have been good. I don't know. But no.
But that's what it reminded me of. It was like it'd just be a video of Maddie like, oh, about the car.
Yeah, that could be funny. It also could be really weird, which is why after I said that, I'm like, yeah,
I actually thought this was kind of sexy when they were ordering each other around.
It was, but it's sad. I mean, I think a lot of it just to me is like just really sad because they can't be together no matter what. Like before, they kind of could have, I'm guessing, and I don't know if
they're just going to have to look at each other and jerk it. Is that what you're saying?
Unless Wally picks a body, some other teenage boy that Maddie likes looking at and swaps bodies.
That would be bad. Don't do that.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be on Team Maddie at that point, but I mean, it's definitely like, love makes you do stupid things kind of a thing.
Yeah, but that would, I think, bring up a lot of questions about consent and everything else. And I just don't think this show's going to go. I hope this show doesn't go there. I don't think
it would go that way either. I think it would be kind of crazy.
It's only got 2 episodes.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. And then this is still them all kind of like, what are we gonna do?
This scene drove me crazy.
Okay,
you mean Dr. Martin like pumping them all up?
No, yeah, there's a continuity era in this that drives me crazy.
Ooh, do tell.
So Rhonda's leaning against the books here, leaning against a bunch of movies, and behind her head it'll say Pretty in Pink, and then it changes to Rat Race, and then it changes back to Pretty in Pink, and it drives me crazy.
Ooh, I wonder if you caught a message. I wonder if they're like getting tricky like some of these writers that we have to pay attention. Like we know the movie Rat Race and the story, so I wonder if that's what the next 2 episodes are going to be like.
Oh, maybe. It was the new one. Because I know it was a remake of an old film, but it said Rat Race, and then it had the year that was like 2000, whatever, 2012 or something like that.
That's interesting. I would say it was probably just, like you said, a continuity error, but you kind of wonder why they would move it. Unless maybe like she bumped into it when she sat down. And
or they had to do reshoots, like a couple reshoots, and they just put the props back up and they didn't care.
Yeah.
But you would think a show like this would care. And then now I'm looking at Pretty in Pink, and I'm looking at, the Rat Race too. You gotta look up those movies.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's, because then the Rat Race, they're all trying to make it, they all had like teams up and they were all trying to get to the prize at the end. I wonder if that's what they'll kind of do with them. Like each of them will team up to try to figure out the answer to the guy downstairs. I know I didn't see the end of the episode. I'm actually almost there. It's kind of in the background. I only got like 10 minutes left, so I'm getting there. But I wonder if that means anything because, they keep running back and forth to scars. I wonder if they'll kind of team up and they each have to run to a different scar to get something, to bring something back, kind of a thing. That's the only like similarity I can think of to the movie Rat Race, maybe a clue or a foreshadowing or a continuity era. So
yeah. Well, right now I'm thinking hidden subtext, so I'm writing that in my notes.
Well, I guess we'll see.
I also thought it was interesting that Rhonda and Charlie are in one area and Quinn and Yuri on the other area instead of being couple and couple.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice though to see different people talking though. You know what I mean? Like, cause usually it is the same people together. So it's nice that they break it up. I mean, did they need to? No, but it's nice sometimes that it's a little different.
Well, if somebody just makes out with me, I want her to sit with me in the library right by me. Because we just made out.
Well, maybe one of them's avoiding the other one. Maybe Charlie or Rhonda are avoiding their significant other. Who knows? This is about this scene. Tell me if I'm wrong, but Mr. Martin was saying that, like talking about. I'm trying to remember, talking about like. He was being positive from what I remember, just kind of like trying to tell them that they they can, that it'll be okay. They need to try. If they see their door, they need to go through it, that kind of thing. I don't know. Oh, and he was saying that they've all grown. That's what he was saying.
Right.
He's watched them all. They've grown. Rhonda's opened up. Charlie's become more of himself and is confident in it. He said Quinn was looping and is now part of the gang. Yuri figured out the reset. The point is that he's saying they can do it. They all can do it if they, try. And I mean, usually they're annoyed by him, but they weren't. They didn't really. I mean, I don't know that they believe him, but they weren't necessarily annoyed with him either.
Yeah, he kind of took some accountability too, right before he started his whole "you've done this and you've done this" and like kind of praising him. He's like, it was kind of a really rough chapter in my life, talking about the body snatching when Maddie got her back. Maddie got her body back. So I kind of like that he led with that. I think that kind of opened them up to actually listen to him. And then what he was saying was really real to them. Like it meant something. And I thought it was pretty on, spot on to what we've seen happen. So I felt like he was trying to redeem, like that was a little bit of like a redemption monologue that he had, pepping them all up. And as a teacher, that's what you're supposed to do with your students. So I kind of really liked it. I'm like, for the first time, I feel like he fit his role as a teacher. Yeah. And I thought it was kind of redemptive, this scene.
Well, at the beginning of the show too, that was what they did, was they sat in a circle, and as much as I had seen, I know I didn't see all the stuff in between, but I remember that at the beginning, that they always kind of have their circle and talked. And since then they haven't listened to him. So it's nice that now they've, like I said, have they forgiven him? I don't know, but they're at least interacting with him and aren't pissed at him all the time. And there's Simon taking his nap, and Quinn's all alone. Okay, so this is Charlie and Yuri. Charlie's flipping out because he's worried that
he's a diva.
He is a diva, man.
He's a diva. And, Charlie has the only meltdowns, and Yuri just has to deal with it. And like, Yuri's so smooth about it. He's like, "Come on, Charlie," and they'll have a conversation. Even when he gets mad at him, he's like, "Charlie," and he just talks so calmly to him. And I'm just like, "You are a little diva, Jesus."
Wow. Well, he's like, we got to figure out how much time we have left, and Yuri's basically like, "Well, wouldn't it be better spent, trying to get over your trauma so you find your door instead, and then you don't got to worry about that." But I think it kind of goes right past Charlie, who is not calming down. I mean, he calms him down some, but he's still, a little scared there. Yeah. And then he does admit, though, Yuri says first Charlie says he can lose his shit too, but Yuri says he suffocates him. But he ends up, he hugs him and kisses him to calm him down. So he was able to make him feel a little bit better. And then he said something about like, I know I'm a bad rom-com or something. And he said, there's no such thing as a bad rom-com. What?
This wasn't the scene with the football players.
No, yeah, it was.
Scene, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was funny because they're sitting there making eyes at that girl at the desk, right? That's right there, and they're just like in front of them making out. That was funny. I enjoyed that. I thought that was cute.
Yeah, I didn't know what those guys. I didn't know Tio was one of those guys. I didn't know they were being like they were up to no good. I still think they sprayed blood on Maddie, so I don't think they're up to any good. But they're just in there watching the secretary, I guess.
Yeah, they're just flirting with her. I don't know. There could be more than that, but I think that's all it was supposed to be, at least at that point. So then Simon has gone down with, I don't remember who he went. I guess just Mr. Martin. I feel like Rhonda was there too, but it's
Rhonda. It's Rhonda, Martin, and Simon.
Okay. So they've gone down again, and he's trying to talk to him. And this is where he stabbed the man with the white eyes, stabs and cuts his hand and shows he can bleed. So Simon's like, holy crap, he doesn't say that, but he's basically like, you're alive. Like he knows that he is there. And, I kind of wondered at this point if he had actually been stuck. Well, not at this point. I guess it was a little bit later when they were talking about him going down to see the kids. I had wondered if he wasn't stuck originally and he just kept visiting the kids because he didn't want them to be alone. I wasn't entirely sure, but I guess this is how he got stuck, was going somehow to do with,
I like the parallel because wasn't it's Simon's hand in the first episode that we saw that got cut, and that's how we knew he was alive. And then this guy also cut his hands. So I didn't know if it's because the guy with the white eyes can see and kind of knows what's going on in the school, and that's why he showed him the hands, because he could have done anything. But I was like, oh, I like that it's the same hand in the same way Simon had cut his hands. So I like that.
Yeah, no, I do too. I liked it.
I was thinking too much of From when I saw it, like my blood, your blood.
You thought worms were gonna like come on Simon or something. It was Martin.
Okay.
It reminds me of From a lot. It's been very From-y in the last couple of episodes.
It kind of has been a little bit with the Nkui drawings and everything.
Yeah.
So I forgot about this. With everything else that went on in the episode, I completely forgot about this. But something, I mean, this I think is significant, unless it just has to do with the way that they make the keys. But like I said, some of that seems inconsistent. But the point is when they come out, Simon, is Simon still stuck there? I feel like Simon
gets stuck there, and it's Rhonda and Martin that come out. And I'll let you keep going. I'll tell you what I thought was weird about the scene.
Yeah, well, they came out, and the water came out with them, and the book. I was thinking the books came out with them. I don't think the books came out with them. I think they knocked the books over when they fell. But the point is, this librarian or assistant or whatever she was, she could see the water, like the books were all wet, and she picked it up like, what? She didn't see them come through, though, so she didn't get scared by a ghost. But the fact that they affected something was very strange. And Quinn's got this look on her face, what the hell is that? And then they move on to something else, and I completely forgot about it. So, yeah, Jen, what do you
think? The fact that the water came through. So I was wondering if the water is significant, because water has been seen as maybe a portal or kind of like the filament that you can kind of cross through. So I thought that was really interesting that the water came through. So I didn't have a time to, but I wanted to almost go back to where Wally came through the water and landed on the janitor and broke his arm. I don't think the water came through then, because I don't remember him being wet. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I did not get to go back and look at that. But when I saw this scene, I was like, I got to check and see if the water came through with Wally before, because I don't think we've seen that. And then the night that the bus crashed, when Mr. Martin went through, I don't know if there was water there either. So I thought that might have been significant, or just the fact that two of them went through together and came out together, and just that they had bought the water. So I was wondering if the water has anything to do, or could be a portal, or maybe the water itself could be a key, because that's maybe what the children had. So I started to theorize a little bit off of that on my drive home today, thinking how the water could be a portal or possibly a key that they don't even realize is a key.
Yeah, I like the portal idea. I'm not sure about the key, just because I'm guessing it probably dried. So I'm not sure how they would use it as a key. But yeah, I don't know. I think it was very bizarre. And obviously Quinn thought it was very bizarre too. And I don't think they ever got a chance to say anything to anybody. Maybe I'm wrong and I'm forgetting, but they don't say anything to anybody is the important part of, I guess, of that. So whatever it wasn't talked about. And I wish that they would say something, because it was clearly important, whatever happened. So yeah, I kind of think it would be interesting, even if maybe somehow they could use the water to go. Well, I guess they still got to take their door though. So I don't know that it would help the kids other than that, because they still need their door. So I'm not sure that would really.
Did either of you guys think about the fact that when Mr. Martin first went through the water way back, like a decade ago, when Quinn passed away, that he came out in the bus stop area, and now we've seen Wally and Rhonda and Martin go through it again, the water, on two different episodes, but they wound up in the library. So I'm kind of curious to find out what makes them land like either outside by the bus stop or in the library. Is there a different water puddle that they're falling through? Was it the same? I thought it was the same one, but they've wound up now in two different spots over time. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I can't place that. Have you thought about that at all, Scarlet or Jamie?
I do think the library has to have a significance. I just don't know what it is. But yeah, it is strange they keep coming out in the library, especially when he didn't. I agree with that. I don't know. What do you think about it, Scarlet? Do you have any ideas?
Didn't Mr. Martin make a map of the scars and things? I don't know if he made a map of
season 2. Yeah, Janet made a map, I think, and they found it, and they kind of realized where the map was like an overlay, if they can put it on top of the school, that was the overlay. I think it was Janet's map. And then Mr. Martin had found it. I do remember that from season 2. But I'm not sure how it plays into here. Do tell.
Yeah. And no, I just wanted to know that maybe he like had experienced the Saint Hellhole or whatever before and put it on the map, because I haven't really taken a good look at the map. Or Janet, you know.
Yeah, that part I don't know. I don't think at the time though had they even talked about him coming out in the outside world though, because he told them that this season. So I have to assume
Yeah.
he didn't put it on the map.
Well, yeah, he didn't tell them. I thought maybe it was secretly on the map if I looked at the actual map.
Maybe, but I'm just saying since he didn't
It
tell
might be a
them
little
that.
water puddle. I'll be like, oh yeah, it goes. Water puddle goes out to library.
Hmm. Maybe
And,
I guess
that's
we'll.
under certain circumstances.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
interesting this librarian got to see them though, because I thought it was only Mr. South.
Yeah, well, the librarian didn't see him. She just saw the water.
Right.
Yeah. Well, she heard the cart tip over. I think a cart tipped over, and then
I thought
Yeah,
that was interesting too. She didn't see them.
So yeah, my question is, did she not see them because she wasn't there at that moment?
Yeah,
And
she didn't get
didn't
there in
know
time.
the aftermath, like it fell over, or is there a reason she didn't see them? I think it's more likely just she wasn't standing there when it
Yeah.
happened.
I think it's only like 2 seconds or something. So
Yeah.
I can see them before it goes.
Yeah, that's
Look
that's
in the
kind of what
Lord.
I think. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I agree.
I think the water could be a key, like anything else. The key for the children, because that's how they passed away.
Yeah, I don't know how they'd use it, but I think that could be cool. I don't know. Water does
You can
make me
use
think of-
water for so many things, Jamie.
No, I know, but I mean, like, if the water doesn't stay there, how can they take it with them to use as a key? You know what I mean? Like,
Glass.
disappeared. I don't
I
know.
wonder if the fact that they keep falling into the library when Mr. Martin had fallen outside at the bus stop, that, you know, obviously caused Quinn's death in the band. I wonder if it has to do with something that's on them as a ghost or as a person. Like, what does Mr. Martin or Rhonda have that brought them back into the school this time, and Wally, but Mr. Martin had something different on him that maybe landed him outside. Maybe he had his key on him and that brought him outside, or I'm not sure what it is, but that's definitely like bothering me after like this episode. I'm like, damn it, twice they went to the library and once was outside. Why is there a difference? What does that
And
meaning?
it was more than one person too that went into the library, so that's a good question. Hey Trey, welcome.
Maybe it has to do with the Stillwater map that's in the library, or versus the band, where the band came out the other time when Mr. Martin came out.
Maybe.
Oh,
Basis, didn't Mr. Martin mention that he had come out elsewhere and they don't know what that means? Yeah, I think. But I think up until this point, they had only come out once in the library, so we weren't really as focused on it. I think, right? Because this is only the second time, isn't it, that they've shot out there? Or am I wrong?
This is this Wally came out and then Martin and Rhonda that second time in the library. Yeah,
Okay.
you're right.
Yes, I wasn't sure. All right. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it means. But this is where he's trying to find out more, and I don't know which person it is, but I was too far behind, I guess, with the blood. But yeah, one of them grabs him again, and that's why I said, like, after he got mad that Quinn hit him the first time, I don't understand why they're pulling him away from the guy with the white eyes when he's like, I want to hear what he has to say.
Yeah.
So that's what irritated me a little bit.
And Wally was there. Wally and Martin were there the first time when he got pulled away. So I don't know why they did it again. That's kind of right after this scene is kind of where I stopped, right when the next scene we're going to get to when they're back in the hospital. That's kind of where I stopped it. And I'm watching it now kind of with half an ear. But this is kind of where I got to before I had to turn everything off when I was like 100% focused. So from here on out, I'm kind of half an ear playing along and seeing what's going on.
That's fine. This is just them talking about how it's affecting them. It's upsetting all of them going into this scar. So that's the other question too. Like, why is it different? Is it because so many people died? I mean, it's not just like one person died there, right? Like all the kids died there. So I don't know if that's causing it, or if maybe the man with the white eyes being there and not being dead, if it's like making something different. I don't know. It's just interesting that this scar affects them all so much. I don't know if there's a point, but it's interesting at any rate, even if I don't know why. All right. So then we have Maddie and Xavier going to the town meeting to try to find out about the demolition.
Was that last scene when Charlie said my favorite thing in the whole episode?
Since I don't know what that is, I don't know. But what did Charlie say?
About birds, about the people that have birds as pets or psychopaths.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I don't know when that was, but there was a quote about that.
No, it's my favorite thing because it reminded me of Misty in Yellow Jackets, and Christina Ricci has also said that psychopaths own birds.
Hey, a lot of people don't like birds. I don't know. I don't remember what it was, honestly, but yeah, I do remember him saying that. That was funny. I don't know. So yeah, they're going to the meeting for the town, trying to find out about the demolition, see if they can, I don't know, do something is what they're trying to do, but they don't know yet. And of course, why can I, for the life of me, not remember her damn name? And I know you keep making fun of it.
Dr. Deborah Hunter Price.
Hunter Price. I'm sorry. I keep saying Jennifer Tilly because that's all I can think. Hunter Price. Hunter Price. I will try really hard.
Or Deb.
I thought I wrote it down.
Call her Debbie.
Deb. Okay.
Yeah, Deb.
I'm writing it down. I wrote it down before, though. It didn't work. But I'm writing it down again.
Call her Debbie Downer, because she's bringing the town down.
Yeah, maybe that might help. I might remember that. But no, but I've actually been doing pretty good remembering the names of this show. And for whatever reason, her name just does not
I don't
stick.
know how you cannot remember a name such like Dr. Deborah Hunter Price.
No, it is. Especially because you keep saying it. You would think I'd remember, right? But
it's funny to say.
Yeah. So she's trying to move the demolition up. She's using the excuse, the school's run down, there's all these dangers and blah, blah, blah. There's a sinkhole underneath.
Mold. Yeah.
Yeah, mold. She does say something like, we don't know what's underneath. And I think that obviously that was more like that. Like you're supposed to be like, oh, there is something underneath. She doesn't know that.
Or
but
maybe
she says that like
maybe she does know.
Maybe. But then why would she want to demolish it unless she's bad? I don't know why she would want to do that. But who knows? She don't seem to care about anybody else, so it's hard to tell. Meanwhile, Mr. I was going to call him Mr. Martin, not Mr. Martin. Had his
Hartman.
Okay, Hartman is trying to not have that happen. He's like, you can't take him out in the middle of the school year, and you can't, he's coming up with all
weird in the middle of the semester. This seems really odd.
It does. And at least the one who's in charge of it, she's like, no, that's too expensive. We're not doing that. It's basically
like the voice of reason.
She's like, nope, don't care. Too much money. And then Deborah Hunter Price is saying, well, we have an anonymous benefactor who is going to take care of any problems we have. And that's when see, now that I look at him up close, I see that it's kind of weird. I didn't look, I guess, as close when I was watching on the TV. And I think it's because he reminds me of a different actor, or maybe I've seen
with the beard.
Yeah, or I've seen him with the beard in a different show, and like with the real beard, maybe that's why. Because if you look, you actually can kind of tell it's not a real beard. At least it doesn't look like it. I mean, it's like
not the same color as his hair.
Is that the guy?
To be fair, a lot of men have different color beards. But I mean, I guess they could have had him, grow it in between, but it would be kind of hard for somebody to grow their beard, shave their beard, grow their beard, shave their beard. Yeah. So I'm sure they did that. They attached it. But yeah, it did not hit me. I don't know why, because now I feel stupid that it didn't. But no, I definitely didn't recognize him at that point, and I should have.
Well, I didn't know he was going to be a dairy farmer.
No, I didn't know that either. But I love this picture. He's like, cookie? No, he didn't really say that, but that's what I feel like. Like this
monster? Cookie monster?
No, but I mean, this looks like a meme picture. Like I want somebody needs to caption that, write something about it. People do have different color beards.
Yeah, that's true.
I know. I think it's interesting how like a lot of men have red beards that don't have red hair.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine that has that. Like he's blonde, but his beard comes out red for some reason.
Yeah, it's strange.
Oh, Beehive says her husband's beard is gray, but has no gray hair or gray in his hair.
Yeah, maybe it grays earlier too. Who knows? Oh. Weird genetics. You never know. Yeah. But at any rate, I think this is a glued-on beard, so I don't think it really matters. I think so too. So I don't think it matters.
I disguise because I have to disguise myself.
Though, what it does show that these kids are obviously not kids, and that he's a lot older than they're making him look. And I think that's why I didn't recognize him either, because they've done a good job making him look a lot younger. And it's like he went from, he jumped to his real age or whatever, and then he looks a lot different. Yes, thank you.
You can't play 16 and 40.
Yeah. Well, hey, he is, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. I'm so bad at that. I won't remember when I see Dieter going like and share, subscribe. Like, thank you. I forgot. Like the video, guys. If you can, hype it and subscribe to Sci-Fi Vision. And sharing is always good too. Always helps. We need more people. Remember, guys. Whoops, sorry. What?
Leave some comments.
Yes, leave some comments. Scarlet comments all the time, and I appreciate you do that. I always see your comments pop up.
You can leave a comment like, what was your favorite show in that episode? Or you could leave a comment about who you think is taking over another person's body.
Yes, yeah,
or
that's good.
How the White-Eyed Guy is really alive.
Sorry. My favorite band was from a band called Car Seat Headrest? Car Seat Headrest.
What was called Car Seat Headrest? That I missed.
That's one of the bands in this episode. They did a really cool song at the end when they're walking underground, and it sounds kind of spooky and kind of spiritual, kind of spooky spiritual.
Well, the songs in the episode were good, but it's a very strange name for a band. I will admit that.
It is, but they had a bunch of them at the library, so now I'm going to get a bunch of their recordings.
Yeah. I know what I was going to say though. I was going to say, you know, guys, the more you share the video, the more you get people to subscribe. It's easier to get interviews. The more followers we have, because the problem is, and I try to explain this to people, you know, we get interviews because of the website scifivision.com. Our YouTube channel is very small, so you know we always want to grow the channel. It helps with the live interviews. All right, I completely lost where I was at. Okay, so they're talking. Yeah, it's Kyle. I know.
Hansen, or is it Jansen or Hansen?
Jensen.
Hard J or soft J.
There it is right there. KC, you're right.
This is the weirdest thing because this card does not have a phone number on it. It says extension, like Stillwater extension, like it's an old-timey card from like the 1920s when they used to have a switchboard.
Well, you know what I would say to that, Scarlet? I agree with you, but you know what I would say? I will say what Karen would say. They don't expect people to pause the video and look at the card.
Well, I was thinking, how small is Split River that they have a switchboard stuff?
That is, it says River's Mouth. River's Mouth Dairy. It says 125 Stillwater Extension Split. Yeah, that's I don't. That looks more like the address 125.
Because he said get a hold of my secretary. I'm like, how? Call the switchboard?
What's on top? What's on top?
It's River's Mouth Dairy, KC Jensen, and then
there's no numbers on it.
It's weird. I don't know. Prop department made a boo-boo.
I don't think so. I think it's because it's archaic, because the person that's inhabiting Kyle's body is also archaic.
Yeah, that actually could be. Yeah, maybe he doesn't know how to make. I would think though, if he's got all that money, he would have figured out how to make a
he just has his own switchboard. He doesn't have a phone yet. He just has ladies. He has a bunch of switchboard operators doing his operation. Well, he hasn't figured out there's phones.
I guess not, but I think they just wanted you to see the name, obviously, that it was Kyle, so we know that he has taken over his body. And they're like, we want to talk to you about not demolishing the school. And he says, like, you can come to me after school. I'll come over. Well, he says he'll come over to the school. He'll come talk to them. And
yeah, what joke did he make, Jamie, when he came in? He made a joke and everybody laughed because he was like the guy.
Oh, he said something about dairy. I don't know. It was a really bad joke.
I want to say barely there or dairy working, but I know that's not it. Like a dad joke.
Yeah, I don't know, but it was definitely like a dad joke.
On dairy, and then everybody was like, "Oh my God, Kyle's here!"
He's so funny. Yeah, no, it was funny that he did make a bad joke. But yeah, he's like, I'll talk to you after school, and I remember watching this and thinking, like, why do they think this guy is going to stop from demolishing this? Like, you're like, we want our friend not to lose his body that you stole. Like, he's not going to help them. They would have been better off, like, not saying anything about Kyle, telling him they want him to save the school, not telling him why, and then going after him for Kyle. But, you know.
I think it would have been good if they would have gotten him write out a really big check to the grave rubbing group at school.
That would have been funny. I would have liked to have seen that. I agree with you. So this is Simon trying to talk to him again and trying to find out what's going on. And again, there they are when they've pulled him away. Or no, he fell over, I guess. He didn't pull away yet because there's more of the vision. Okay, so this is where I said in the chat, I'm like, that's who White Eyes is. I'm like, it's got to be. They didn't know there was another person in the church. That's all it is. And that turns out to be the case, or at least what Simon thinks is the case. That he locked the pastor. It seemed that he locked the pastor in with the kids, but I mean, obviously the pastor isn't actually dead because we know because he's bleeding. So that's what was a little confusing to me. Like, it seems like he was there when they died, but then it sounds like maybe he's not so much there as he's watching their death, maybe because he went back for them. And this is like his vision he's seeing. I don't know.
Yeah. I couldn't tell either because you can see him running down the stairs to the kids down to the basement, right? His feet, and then the window breaks with the water coming in. So I'm like, how did he survive the flood?
Yeah. The only thing I can think is that he's came down there like Simon did. And that's like him seeing it as opposed to him actually being there. Because you're right.
Yeah, because outside of it, like maybe later he saw the ghosts and he wanted to help them.
Yeah, well, it said that he went down there to be with them or whatever. But at any rate, he somehow got stuck down there. We still don't really know how he got stuck down there, but he got stuck down there. And there is Van Height. And this is how Simon is like, oh, shit, he's not Van Height because he's looking at Van Height.
So we all knew that.
Yeah, and I actually, because when I was looking up to see who played Kyle, I actually know that actor. I met him a long time ago. I wouldn't have known who it was though, other than it says this it says his name in the credits.
Yeah.
But I had met him at GeekCon a long, long, long time ago.
Was the actor who played Kyle?
No, the actor that plays Van Height.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, his name's Michael Adamwaith. I didn't really know him or anything. I had met him as I got a picture with him when he was at the I don't remember what it was. One of the meet and greets that they had. It was in Vancouver, so that makes sense.
For what show?
It was for a Stargate convention.
Okay.
There was like a meet and greet, and there was like a cocktail party and all kinds of things. Also where I met Alex Zahara, who plays the principal. But anyway, I wouldn't have recognized him. I happened to see it in the credits.
Yeah.
So then we go to Maddie's father talking with the younger Kyle to this nurse, trying to find out what happened. And they're telling her about the body snatching. And she said, do you know how I died? I don't know what that was, if that was referenced. They asked her how she died. I don't know for sure, but that's a story for a different day. So I was taking notes and don't remember what it was. But she starts talking about the hidden rooms, which she meant the scars, and that hers was in the elevator. She had a very little scar, didn't she? But when she was walking by her door, she saw him, and the door was open. No, it was about the time he came, she saw the door was open. Anyway, she saw the elevator was open and she's like, how did it get open without having her key? I was a little confused if she meant like the real key or she meant like the key.
You don't know what she meant.
Yeah. What do you think about that, Scarlet? I was confused.
I was confused too because there's also a person that walked behind it in the scene too, and I didn't know who that person was.
There's a person behind it. Is it maybe supposed to be her watching her, like telling it, you mean? Or
no, there was a person that walked behind her in the scene.
Yeah, and she turned around and noticed it and then told them to come meet her for the graveyard shift, right? Yeah. I didn't know she knew who that person was either.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you mean right here where it shows two people? That's Maddie's father.
When she turns around and she's talking to them and she's talking about the doors, you see a person walk by behind her. And I know that Wally and Martin could see, or not Maddie's dad and Kyle could actually see the person that walked by, but she doesn't make reference to it. She kind of turns around and she's like, meet me at the graveyard shift, and doesn't acknowledge the person, but knows that somebody walked by.
That's interesting. I vaguely remember seeing it, but it didn't like compute. I guess it didn't stick with me because now that I say that, I'm remembering it, but I didn't know what it meant, so I didn't. But either way, she's saying she doesn't know how the elevator was open. And I didn't know if she meant when I had a real life key and I worked at the hospital. I assumed she had to already be dead because otherwise she would.
I thought she was already dead as well. In that context.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible she meant this is when I saw the real you come by and she could have been alive, like saw his body come by and thought it was like he was alive. Yeah. But I took it to mean as a ghost. So I guess her key, she meant, but who knows? Maybe her key is a key, you know.
Oh, that'd be complicated.
Either way, she says that she wondered over the years how someone got from beyond their world to the elevator, but she never had proof that actually happened. But she could feel something dark, and now she knows that something got into her room on her watch, and that she's sorry that happened.
Most likely Alfred.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, if it was Alfred.
Yeah. And then this is where I have written down that her father says, how could they? They didn't have a key. And she says something about there's another way. Oh, I did write it down. Someone goes by. So yes, I did notice it. I didn't remember it. And she said, meet me tonight during the graveyard shift and I will show you. There's Kyle. Okay.
Do you guys have any predictions for what the other way might be?
I assume maybe it's just going through the scars, like how they went through each other's scar to get to their scar. That was kind of my thought. Like you didn't have to have a key, right? At least from what I understand out of the show.
Right. They walked from scar to scar. That was the whole point of the map from season 2. So that definitely could be the way. I was thinking that there might be a third way. I guess I kind of didn't put that connection together. I was like, oh, there's a third way.
And there could be. You could be totally right.
There's a really easy way.
Yeah, there's probably something really easy that she hasn't told him yet, and then I'll be like, oh shit, we could have done that all along.
Too bad.
Yeah, that'd be funny. All right, so now Maddie is talking to herself in the boiler room, but Xavier comes in, and I like this scene when he's like, tell me what they're saying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's good comic timing because you forget that he can't see anybody. So he's like,
yeah, and he's like, tell me. So this is where Simon's like, it isn't Van Height. This guy was the pastor. He was alive. He bleeds like me. And it's not the guy with white eyes. And he said the pastor could see the children after they died, just like how I could see Maddie. Something trapped him. I need to find out how he got trapped. If we figure out what lifts the veil, I can get out of here. And he wants to go back in again. And this is where Maddie's like, no, we're going to go talk to Kyle and try to stop the demolition. And there's like this whole argument because he doesn't want her to put herself in danger and she doesn't want him to put himself in danger. And they kind of argue about it. But they're both, in the end, Simon's like, we're both going to go because this is us. So they're kind of like, we might as well not argue because we're both going to do the opposite of what we're saying anyway, which I liked. I appreciated that. He's just like, let's just give up and go. So that was funny.
I liked it too because I thought it was. I saw that while we were talking earlier, and I was like, "Oh, this is a real moment," because it's exactly what the audience is thinking. Like, they're about to go do it anyway. So I'm kind of glad that they kind of went with that for like the audience's sake, because that's kind of transparent. The kids are going to do exactly what they want to do, regardless of whatever warning somebody gives them or whoever gives that warning. Even if it's your closest friend, you're still going to go do what you want to do.
Of course, but at least they've gotten to the point where they're not going to argue about it. He's kind of like, there's no point in us fighting. We're both going to go. So let's just go. Yeah, but they were also, I think I liked it. It was very emotional because you could tell they were both tearing up there. So I liked that. We also have Mr. Martin here talking to Wally and telling him, you have to tell them about the door and that you've seen. And he's like, I can't. And he's like, if you have it, you're allowed to go. He's like saying you shouldn't feel guilty if you want to take off. You have a chance not to be stuck here like us. You need to go. And of course, Wally's like, I can't do that. I'm not going to do that. So that's what that whole conversation was. And now we have Claire and Nicole, which, it's funny because this is basically like the conversation that Simon and Maddie just had, where after they go, they're like, we're going to fall behind them. Yeah. I was like, we're not going to listen. Of course not. Because Maddie and Xavier, I need a drink. Hold on. Maddie and Xavier are going to go see that Kyle because he never came to the school. They're going to make sure they get to talk to him. And they're like, we don't want you to go alone. And I love, they're like, what? They say something like, what's Xavier going to do? Brood or something like that. Was that what it was? Brood?
I can't remember. I just remember there was a really cool shot in this one too, where like Claire was in the foreground and the other characters were behind her, and they were kind of focusing in and out. And I thought that was a good choice too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you said it earlier, but the cinematography in this show is excellent. They really get some really great angles and show you some the perspective they show you at really like brings a whole new light to the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with such a big cast too. They do a good job with it. B says it was brewed. Yeah. They Nicole or Claire, one of them said something like, What good's Xavier? He's just gonna stand there and brood at the guy. I don't
he's like,
think
I'm
they're
standing
gonna
right here.
but yeah, I don't think they're gonna help it. Yeah, he's like, I'm standing right here. You're right. And then we go back to the hospital. Now I ran out of time and didn't get to look it up, but the song playing here is called I think it's pronounced Gethsemane.
That's from the car seat headrests, or whatever they're called.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I just know that Gethsemane is also the name of the next file episode. And I was going to look up because I couldn't remember what it was about. It has to do with the Bible, but I just couldn't remember.
It's the Garden of Gethsemane that Jesus goes to. The Garden of Gethsemane before Jesus is crucified. He goes there to pray.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
As a person who isn't Christian.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah. That's where
went to Catholic school.
While he's praying, that's where he's betrayed. Scarlet, please. I mean, I'm a Christian, but I can't remember correctly. But that's the garden where Jesus prays, and when he's praying, that's when he's denied 3 times by Peter. Correct?
Yeah, I think so. Isn't he also tempted by Satan as well?
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting. I wonder if that has anything to play into it.
Yeah, it might. Yeah.
That he's betrayed or just denied. So we'll see. I wonder if that has anything to do with Kyle getting denied from his body. Like I said, I kind of watched the last part of this with like half an ear because we're on the show, but yeah.
It'd be interesting. I don't know, but sorry, I'm not Catholic. I didn't go to Bible school. I don't know. But I am Christian. I just want to make that point out. I just don't know it. What?
I said it doesn't matter to me, Jenn.
No, I know. I just said I am Christian because the way I said it made it sound like I wasn't. So like, putting that out there. I am a Christian. Okay. Anyway, we're getting up.
No, but I was just thinking of that drawing too. That had the guy with the cross and the guy with the horn. So there's a definite Christian same thing going on, and that would be in the Garden of Gethsemane too.
It was also drawn in blood too.
Yeah,
the one we'll talk about later because we didn't get to that point, but it's drawn in his blood. All right, so they are going with the nurse again, and I have written down something about Quinn, and I don't know what that means. They're driving down, and I think it's Maddie says she has a bad feeling about going in there.
Yeah, she's right to have that bad feeling.
Yeah, I agree. She's right to have a bad feeling. Simon is again watching the visions. And I guess the idea is the man with the white eyes doesn't remember, and him seeing it is helping him remember. Like they're watching it together.
It reminds me of the movie Coco.
Oh,
where you're only alive as much as people remember you.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't even make that reference.
I feel like it has that kind of connection to that kind of folklore where people believe that they have to remember people in order to save them.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that. That's a really good connection that you just made with the thing for Coco, because I think that does have something to do with it, like how long you're remembered.
Yeah.
And they're called the Forgotten, so that kind of works.
Yeah, they are. You're right. I thought that was the kids up there. That's them standing up there. I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
that's why
they're just standing in the balcony.
Yeah,
I got balcony.
Yeah,
they wait forever. They wait forever towards the end to save Simon. It's so.
Well, this time at least they're letting him finish the vision, right? He says,
"Yeah, I guess that's the point because he's like, don't bring me out of it. Don't bring me out of it. Don't bring me out of it.
Let me see it this time, damn it." But this it does have the thing on the wall where it says, "Do you know who I am?" And this is when he starts saying, "Yeah, I know who you are. I remember you." And as he sees
the children.
I remember the children. Yeah, there it is. Do you know who I am? I don't remember what language they said it was in. They said last week.
Finnish.
Oh yeah, okay. I should know that. Finish. Now that you said that, I'm like, oh yeah, duh. Finish. Yes, you are correct. They are in a finished church, and we already know that. And then meanwhile, they're at Kyle's house, who has shown up, and he's like, "Oh, whoops, I forgot." Like his like, "Oh, I forgot to meet you" was like so bad, right?
Yes.
You know.
Oh,
And then he jokes
I was
around. He's like, I was
milking
with
the cows.
Yeah, he's like, I was with the ladies. By ladies, I mean cows. I'm like, oh, such a bad joke.
He's playing that kind of character.
Just milking some cows at night, you know. Nothing suspicious about that.
Yeah, nothing suspicious at all. All right, so they sit down and they're going to talk to him, and then
but his house looks so old, and there's so many antiques in it, and
yeah, that's what they say about the antiques. And there's also a bunch of shotguns too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Xavier eyeballs that gun case. He's like, okay, there's a bunch of guns here. Maybe Maddie's right about it being a little dangerous. And just, you know, anybody watching, when you go to some stranger's house, if you're ever in this situation and they offer you tea or anything to drink, say no. No. You don't take shit from anybody. No. God, if your daughter ever watches this, do not drink from anybody's thing. No.
See, that's what I have a theory that goes with that later about Xavier.
Yeah, I definitely thought he was going to poison him or do something. I would agree with that. We'll wait. Let's wait till we get there, and then we'll talk about that. Okay.
But I always forget when I have to wait, Jamie.
I'll remind you.
Okay, thanks.
All right. So Livia here is talking to her mother, trying to show her the picture of.
I had in my notes, Jennifer Tilly has a weird way of putting on lipstick.
I thought she was picking her teeth. Didn't it look like she was picking her teeth and not putting on lipstick?
Yeah, it was weird because she definitely had lipstick, but there's a way she was putting it on. I was like, what is she doing?
Probably
I don't know what she's doing.
That's just what she looked like. It was so weird.
Yeah, it was very bizarre.
Well, it's probably to be funny.
Livy's she is a comedian.
Yeah. Livy's trying to show her the picture of Maddie to blame Maddie for something, and she's like, I don't care about Maddie. This isn't. We need to get the school taken care of. That doesn't matter. And she said, Maddie is small potatoes, which I only pick up on since that's also an X-File title. It's also a quote in X-Files. But so she doesn't care about Maddie. And she's like, this is where she's like, it's not fair. And this is where she says, I've done a good job as a mother that you still don't know that life isn't fair. That was like such a dumb thing to say.
Great mom.
I thought the exact opposite. I'm like, you've done a terrible job because your daughter's about to go into the real world and expect and feel entitled and privileged and not realize. I was like, that's not meaning you did a good job. That means you did an awful job. And then she comments about how she had nothing as a kid. So I was wondering about that comment because she threw that part in.
Yeah, well, she's saying I gave you everything I couldn't have. I bought you shit. Is basically what she's saying. You've been entitled because I couldn't be that way. It's kind of what she's saying, which. Yeah, she's kind of like made her daughter into a bitch, but it's all good. But she says you can only count on yourself, and she doesn't care about the picture, which is there.
All that hard work for nothing.
All that hard work for nothing. And we still don't know we need to see what's on the iPad. We don't know yet. But yeah, she's like, don't care. That mom obviously had an idea about momming that's a little off. Yes. She did not do a great job. She thinks she did, but maybe not so much. But yeah, I still think some more is going to happen with that. But let's wait till we get to that part. And then, because I know Scarlet's waiting to say, I'm waiting to say too what I think. But so they're in the house. They're waiting for him. This is there Xavier takes the tea. I'm like, don't drink it, you idiot. Don't do that. But of course he does. And like you said, Maddie didn't. So yeah, go ahead, Scarlet. Now, if you want to talk about the tea, you can talk about the tea.
Okay.
Spill your tea.
Oh, I just have a kind of a half-baked theory that Alfred's jumped into Xavier's body because he took the tea, and the tea may have had some kind of poison in it that knocked him out.
I think that
giving Alfred the opportunity to jump into his body, and then he would have the advantage of Xavier being the sheriff's son, and also would make a plot point that even if they get Kyle's body back to the hospital and try to put a soul back in, there's nobody that can see Kyle because Xavier would have been body jumped by Alfred, and that Xavier's soul be running around in the corn maze and then in this old house.
That would suck. I kind of agree with the thought. Like, I thought something like that was going to happen, but since they didn't show him passing out, I think that was.
Well, I think it might be a surprise. Like, they have him running up at the end, but maybe if that all happened to the corn maze, because it's a corn maze.
Oh, so you're saying you think he never actually got out of the seat, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I think maybe he was in the corn maze and then he fell or something and he took over his body and there's going to be a reveal.
Well,
okay.
So
I mean, I hope there's a reveal. Now that I see it more running up, I think maybe not, but in my heart of hearts, it was.
So I have a question about the theory. So if Alfred jumps bodies and goes from Kyle to, well, the dairy guy into Xavier, would that just knock out his body because it'd be left soulless?
Yeah, it'd be kind of in that half state when Maddie had to jump in her body when it was in an ambulance. They'd have to get to the hospital real quick.
Right.
To find Kyle. But if Alfred's in Xavier's body, they couldn't find Kyle because Xavier's the only one that could see people, which would make it interesting for me. I don't think it's going to happen now that I saw Xavier run up, but maybe.
That would also really suck for Kyle.
Because I have this theory that Alfred jumped into Ralphie's body when he got hit by lightning and kind of lived in Ralphie's body until 2004. And then when his body got old, he jumped into Kyle's.
Yeah, I was going to say, I kind of wondered the same thing, the way they showed Ralphie and like how he's in the end of the episode. I was trying to figure out and understand how that made sense, but that actually does make sense now the way you're saying it, that he stayed in that kid's body until Mr. Morton came out and there was more bodies. And maybe that's why the car, it would make sense that like, because it was who ran in front of it was Mr. Martin that ran.
Martin, yeah.
But it would make sense that, like, if that was the case, that he would want more people to die so he could get a new body.
And Ralphie disappeared, but it doesn't mean that Alfred and Ralphie's body couldn't have gone down to the next town or just, hitchhiked or something. And then somebody was like, "Oh, it's a little orphan boy. Let's raise him." Because it was like the 30s.
But the reason too that I feel like that somehow makes sense is, why is Ralphie in the basement?
Yeah.
Like, that part's what's confusing to me, which is what makes me think maybe you're right. Like, maybe anybody's, well, no, because Kyle's body isn't. So yeah, I don't know. There's something screwy around there that I don't quite understand.
Well, Alfred jumped in his body, so his soul's like walking around in the area.
Yeah, I don't know, but I do think it might have been implying he was in Ralphie for a while, but it wasn't explained, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, as they're sitting there talking, they basically accuse him not of doing that, but at first they're like, "We know you did something," and she's like, "I don't care what you did. I'm just trying to help my friends." And I feel like maybe they should have carried on that way, and her just said, "I'm only care about saving Simon," but I know they care about saving Kyle too. So yeah, I'm not sure.
I think Alfred kind of gave up the ruse really quick.
Yeah, but I also don't know where she was going with that. Like, of course he's not going to help you now. You just like accused him of doing that. And she's like, "You're Alfred and you're Ring." And yeah. So they know, he knows they know. She's like, "I won't tell anybody if you help us." Like, yeah, I'm going to give you back my body because I'm afraid you're going to tell somebody that I took over somebody else's body and they're going to believe you, right? Like, that ain't going to happen. So, but then
maybe Alfred thought they knew more than they knew. And maybe they would try to get him out of the body he's in.
I feel like the only way that would matter is if they knew how to get him out of the body, because nobody would believe anything they said. It's insane.
Well, maybe he was threatened because he thought maybe they did know how to. Maybe they know more information than,
Yeah, maybe
he got scared.
They don't know how they do. Well, he knows they have to have been talking to ghosts, so it's possible. But yeah, I don't know. But this is where Debbie Hunter Price
nice.
To the door. Now, this is the part where I have, I think, a different theory than you did. Yeah. The fact that they're sitting there drinking the tea whenever he goes to the door and there's no voices. I think he went into her body. And I think that rather than leaving her, I think like maybe rather than leaving her floating, I wonder if like somehow they swapped bodies and she like don't know what the hell's going on. So she just like grabbed the gun, or maybe he grabbed the gun, because we don't actually see who took the gun. We just see there's a gun after, right? Because I know that Xavier's like, he has a gun, but the only reason he said he has a gun is because the gun was missing. We didn't actually see him have the gun, did we? At least not that I could tell.
Well, he did because the cabinet was open. The Xavier's cabinet was open.
I guess my point is I wondered if it's possible that they swapped bodies and like.
But why would Jennifer Tilly freak out and run into the corn maze?
She walked down calmly from the stairs, I thought.
Oh.
I didn't see her walk down. I was trying to take notes. Maybe I missed it then. I didn't see that.
So I thought she walked down.
That would make sense.
Yeah, I thought she walked down kind of calmly, like they didn't hear any voices, and suddenly she leaves, and Xavier goes to find out the door and sees him bolting through the pumpkin patch.
Yeah.
So I thought it was weird that she just calmly walked down the stairs. So I think
and she was nervous because she was nervous before, because she looked like she had ants in her pants.
But see, that's kind of what my point was. Like, is it possible that they swap bodies and like she's just scared and doesn't know what the hell's going on, and like she just
she just ran in the corn maze, which is the safest place somebody can go.
I don't know. Hey, I'm throwing out theories. That is 100%.
If it's her, right? If it's her, wouldn't she walk back down and go to her car?
Children of the Scorn.
Yeah. Well, no, because if he was in her body, yeah, but we didn't actually see what she did other than, like you said, walk down the steps. She probably did go back to the car, but we didn't see that because it wasn't focused on.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just my thought.
It's a possibility.
But I could see if they swap bodies, like you said, Jamie, and she went into Deborah Hunter Price's body. I could see him, like Alfred, right, being in Jennifer Tilly's body, walking down calmly because it looked like he's trying to act like her. And if she's actually now in Kyle's grown body, she's the one that's bolting through because she's like, "What is this? And who am I?"
Right.
Yeah, but at the same time, I thought that somebody had to be between life and death. That's why I thought that Xavier would get poisoned by the tea, and then they could enter his body when he was in the half state.
Maybe. Do we really know that's the case, though? I feel like that's an assumption.
Well, it's happened so far through the show.
Well, no, but I mean, yeah, you're right. It has. But I mean,
that's what Mr. Anderson, it was at a time when he was emotionally vulnerable.
Yeah, he wasn't dying. So, yeah, I don't know. That was just my thoughts.
But with Ralphie, it'd be like that. He got hit by a lightning bolt and he was kind of in between life and death.
I don't know.
But either way, with Mr. Anderson, it was kind of different.
Yeah. Either way, he goes darting off into the corn maze. Maddie goes running after him. Xavier goes running after her. There are a lot of pumpkins in the pumpkin patch. I thought they must have, maybe that's why they ran out at the festival. They didn't take them all from the pumpkin patch. That's why they had
all these perfectly good pumpkins, Jamie.
I know, like what the hell, man? Anyway, they're chasing each other. They run through the maze. It shows the maze sign more than once, which I didn't see what the point of that was, but it shows it as they run.
It's to show you it's a corn maze.
It is the most complicated corn maze I've ever seen.
Yeah,
that's the most complicated corn maze I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, because usually like a picture. Have you ever done one? Because I went to one that was like a Peanuts theme, so it was a giant Snoopy. Yeah. I mean, a lot of them have a lot of open areas. It isn't this like super complex, layered maze.
That's cool. I don't know. I can't do anything like that. Allergies. I'd get so sick. I can't go on a haunted hayride. I can't go through the corn maze. I can't run through forests and stuff. I'm too allergic. I'm allergic to weeds and everything else. I have really bad. That would kill me. Actually, I
those gas masks.
I did go on a hayride once when I was little, and I regretted it because I got really sick.
We're gonna have to get one of those full face gas mask, Jamie. That way you can at least enjoy it. You'll look a little weird, but at least you'll have a full face gas mask.
I'm just staring at everybody, right? I'll just be sitting there like
it's totally fine to be walking through a corn maze and then be somebody with a gas mask turns the corner.
That would be fucking awesome, though. I could scare the shit out of all the kids.
Yeah, well, go ahead, go to the nighttime one.
Yeah, that could be cool. No, but I'd get really sick if I did that. So I've not done that.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Okay, so this is where it keeps flipping back, and Simon talks about about what happens, and it shows what happens. And there was a lightning storm. He got out. He got stuck. Either way, this is their story. I'm trying to understand what I wrote. It does show Ralph. There's the picture. I guess that just supposed to show like the person on the left is bad and the person on the right is good, because the person on the right
cross is good, horns is bad.
Right, yeah. I know. I mean, is it possible like that represents like something specific? But I'm guessing that's
pastor.
Just
the pastor.
Or the pastor, sorry. The pastor. Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. But either way,
evil business guy.
Yeah. No, see, this is where what's his name? I already forgot his name. Ralphie. The kid, Ralphie, got hit by lightning. And see, I still don't completely understand this. So I guess Van Height was stuck. I guess the idea is Van Height was stuck in the basement with the pastor and the kids, or at least with the kids anyway. And then when the lightning storm came, he somehow went into Ralphie. And I guess that's also when he went into Kyle, because that was all at the same time, right? It was all no. In
the 1930s.
Yeah, that's right. Ralphie was to do with Mr. Martin. It's just that he told the story, and that's where my wires get crossed. Okay, so he went into Ralph. Interesting though that Mr. Martin was connected to both of them, right? So yeah, he probably went into Ralphie, and then whenever Mr. Martin came out later and the bus crashed or whatever, he somehow went into Kyle.
I mean, I'm not limited to him jumping in other bodies. I just thought it made sense from what I saw.
No, it does, and it's supposed to be their story. I mean, that obviously is Ralphie. I'm just a little confused. I guess how it's all connected.
How he fits in.
Yeah, because when Mr. Martin ended up in front of the bus, did he see Ralphie then? That's what I'm trying to remember.
He saw Ralphie in the bus, I remember. Didn't one of them see Ralphie in the bus?
I don't remember that.
Like way early, the first time there was a bus thing, Ralphie was in the bus.
Yeah, maybe he had gone into Ralphie, but maybe he didn't know. Well, Ralphie could have been mostly dead though. Maybe like he didn't know how to control it, so he was still stuck in the area. Who knows? I don't know. It's very confusing.
Somebody saw him early on.
Either way,
Quinn saw him, but
I don't know. I have to rewatch.
Saw him, and I thought that was weird that he was around where the bus was. I don't think he was in the bus, but he was around where the bus was.
Yeah, I'm very confused with that part. But all I know is he says this is his story. This is your story. This is their story. So this has something to do with the kids being trapped down there. Maybe it's to do with just the water. Like we talked about the water being a portal. So maybe it isn't so much the lightning as the storm. I don't know, but either way, it's somehow connected that I don't got to rewatch to find out. There's Ralphie. So
well, somebody else that I watched, because I watched a few channels, said that they were theorizing that Ralphie was White Eyes, and I'm like, how is that?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm very confused about the Ralphie thing. I feel like I got to rewatch it. But either way, he knows that this guy's stuck because he stayed with the kids. And let's see. He said that your own grief trapped you in here. You were so lost helping everyone else, you forgot. And he says, I remember the children. I remember what happened. I remember you. And then we see the water come in and Simon and the thunder and everything.
And they wait forever. They wait for the water to come, and then they're like, "Oh my God, Simon!"
Yeah. Oh no, what are we gonna do?
I don't know. I mean, it's that moment when everybody's staring at the windows, and you know water's gonna come through them, yet nobody's doing anything or running or anything.
I know. Well, Simon doesn't come out with them, so we don't know where Simon is. I'm hoping maybe they find out he's in his body. We don't know.
If you go back to his body, that'd be very interesting.
It would, but there's 2 episodes left, so
there's 2 episodes left. You're right.
Yeah, they come out. They're all wet. Everybody's there, but Simon. So we don't still understand what's up with that. And then there's more running through the woods. Now, this is the other part that confused me, but I think this is supposed to confuse you. That Maddie starts seeing the red, the boiler room.
Her vision lines. I call them Maddie's vision lines when there's the black lines on the screen.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know if this was supposed to be more metaphorical. It was very, yeah, she's seeing that, and she sees Van Height, and he shuts the door. There he is there, and he shuts her in the office, and then she's sitting there in the middle of the corn maze holding it. Oh, they heard a gunshot, and she's holding. I don't have a picture of it. I thought I did.
Yeah, he shot his foot. It was really weird. He shot his foot,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's Kyle here. So I'm assuming when she says he's gone, it means Alfred's gone from Kyle, and Kyle's not dead because he only shot him in the foot.
Yeah, but that's the thing. We didn't actually see what he shot. We saw Van Height shoot himself in the foot.
But he's also
right. No, I mean in the flashback we saw. We didn't see him shoot himself in the maze.
Oh, I didn't think that was the flashback. I thought that was current time.
No, when he was standing at the door, wasn't the gunshot here? I thought he was supposed to. I thought he shot himself there. Maybe I looked.
He shot himself in the door.
He shoot himself at the door.
Yeah, right here.
That's what I thought. You know, the only thing I can say is maybe what you said a couple minutes ago is right. Is that they need to either be hurt or in a vulnerable state, and maybe he shot himself so he could body hop because, like, maybe. Yeah. You can't just, I mean, who knows? Maybe it's hard to leave a body too.
Yeah, I was a little extreme when they had said they had to be between life and death. It's just a very emotional, traumatic state, which would be shot in the foot would be.
Yeah, it would be. But I don't know. I am still not sure what the hell happened at the end of this episode. I gotta go back and rewatch it. Right. But yeah, she says he's gone. And I guess we're supposed to assume that that's Maddie and Maddie's body, but that may not even be Maddie. We don't
may
know
not be Maddie and Maddie's body either. Yeah, she's under stress.
I don't know. Where would
they're all under stress.
Yeah, because where would he go? There's no other body that he could hop into if he was running through the maze.
I would assume
unless Xavier was weakened by the poison tea and he hopped over.
Maybe, because I just question, like, if he went into Maddie's body, I feel like been there, done that. Like, I don't know that I want to see her be.
Well, that would be the same thing with Xavier, because Xavier was on the borderline of death, and I thought, well, you'd be on the borderline of death again. But then I thought about Yellow Jackets. I was like, Mari jumped into the pit twice.
Yeah.
You know, Xavier could almost die twice.
Good. She could be possessed twice. I don't know. I just feel like the whole last 10 minutes of this episode.
Like, here we go again.
What?
I wonder if she keeps seeing all that red right before, like it looks almost like a scar, right? I'm wondering if she sees that red now, not just because it's a scar, but because it's right where, like, there's going to be a body jump or a death, right? Because every time you see the scars, somebody died, and it always brings you that red light, like where the scar is or the door, and they have to relive something. Mm-hmm. So we know that the church was under the school, but I wonder if there had to be other people that died from the flood in that area, even though we don't see them, but that would be why there's a red door. So I'm wondering if Alfred was able to, like Mr. Martin was able to go through the scars in the school and he kind of just disappeared. I was wondering if that door shutting was him going through a scar because he knows somebody else back in 1912 or whenever had died there from the flood and he was able to go through scars. Like the map that we see in the school, I wonder if there's a map like that for all of Split River or in different places, like a map for the hospital, a map from the school, a map on that, cornfield or somewhere over there in the farm where he can jump from one scar to another because he's been around since for like over 100 years.
Who knows? Maybe could jump to different locations even if they can go through scars. Like maybe they wouldn't even have to stay at the school. Who knows? I guess the only reason they had him run through the corn maze though was to get them back to the school, because I'm thinking like that was actually, you know what I mean? Like, so if it isn't her, like they're not stuck at his house, which is what I kind of thought maybe somebody was going to get stuck at his house. But
somebody might,
I don't know. My question is, we didn't after see anybody talk to Xavier or anybody talk to her, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So like we don't know for sure that they're not ghosts, that they're not inhabited.
Yes.
They left it very open, so you don't know what happened.
Yeah.
The idea.
Yeah.
That's why I was only assuming it was Xavier because he drank that tea and maybe that messed him up.
Yeah, I thought that, but like I said, I feel like if it was going to be that, they would have shown him passed out from the tea. Yeah. But you could be right. You could be right.
A double combo of that, and then Kyle in the other scene saying, Alfred saying to Xavier, "Oh, you're the sheriff's son," because that would put him in a really good position if he jumped into that body.
It
Yeah.
would. And you know what else? He also made a comment of saying something like, when you've been around as long as I have, there are no repercussions. And
Uh-huh.
he said, like, the ring's probably even older than that. So does that
Yeah.
mean that, like, he was somebody else before he was Van Height? Like, what does that even mean?
Who
Right.
knows?
Because he said when you're as old, yeah, because you can outlive consequences. Nothing really
Yeah.
matters. You can outlive consequences. So he probably actually knows how to body jump,
Yeah.
right?
And
Because he's obviously done this probably multiple times.
Well, he would have to if he has been around for 100 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Because I
Because he's
mean,
only been in
eventually,
that body for 20.
even if he jumped in Ralphie's body, it would get old, and then he'd have to find a new vessel.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering with the time of Ralphie. Is it possible maybe he was in Ralphie first, but I don't think the timeline makes sense with that. So I don't know.
Right.
Why wouldn't it? He could
Um,
have been under the church from 1912 to 1930 and got out in 1930s because of the lightning storm.
Right, but Ralphie died, so where would he have gone after Ralphie? Because
Well,
that
maybe
was
Ralphie didn't completely die. Maybe he was in between the worlds and he just jumped in there.
oh, yeah, like Ralphie was like a Simon.
I mean, you only have Martin's view that he died because he was the only one there. So, I mean, how much is a small child going to know about that stuff?
that's
Yeah,
true.
They're
that's
just
true.
going to be like, "Oh my God, he's dead," and then I came back.
Or I
But
wonder
he
if
wasn't
Ralphie
gone.
was.
He got up. He was missing.
Yeah.
I wonder if
Yeah.
Ralphie, though, after getting struck by lightning, went to the hospital, and maybe he was able to body jump between people in the hospital, and that's how it'll
Yeah.
relate back
That's
to
a
the
possibility
elevator,
as well. Yeah.
the elevator, and the Nurse Ratchet-looking woman.
Mhm.
That's what I was trying to figure
Because
out.
he could have jumped into well, then Ralphie was missing though, so I don't know if he was brought into a hospital. That's the
I don't know.
mystery.
That's why I was confused and wondering if it was possible that he was Ralphie for a while, but
Yeah,
I
thought
don't
maybe
know.
he just kind of hitchhiked a couple towns down, and then they were like, "Oh, a street urchin, let's put you to work or whatever," you know,
Well,
1930s.
I forgot that Ralphie went missing, so maybe Ralphie. Well, Mr. Martin sees Ralphie as a kid in the church. So I don't know if Ralphie could have been like Simon and the wide-eyed guy, like kind of stuck in between the worlds, and from there he body jumped again. But that wouldn't explain how
Well,
Ralphie's still a
it could be
child that
like
Mr. Martin
Maddie,
saw.
could be like Maddie when Janet was in her body, and then her spirit was in high school.
That's true. I guess it doesn't. I'm trying to figure out how because we see Ralphie as a child that would be his spirit, right? We wouldn't see his physical body, which could have aged if he
Yeah.
did get body jumps. He could be still the wide-eyed guy then, physically.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's what I like about the show. There's so many possibilities.
Yeah, there really is. Or maybe the person that walked behind her, we still don't even know who that person is. But I kind of like what Jamie had said before, like maybe you can actually like body jump or just go through from one place to another, right? Get out of the school and maybe be in the hospital or somewhere else. Yeah.
I think that could be interesting too, a way to do it, because that would be like next season. Like if we get a season 4 or whatever, like it would give them somewhere to go.
Get a season 4.
Well, I hope so too. But I mean, like to keep the show different. Like they went from like it being all about Maddie being a, being bad or whatever, to being about Simon. Like, well, now maybe they don't have to stay at the school because they find a way to travel. Like it just could be something that could make sense, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just trying to figure out, I was looking, these episodes are like, what day, I'm trying to see like what day these were on, because it lists this, like, if you go in our movie database, like it lists that this episode isn't on until the 23rd. So I was so confused when I was trying to figure out when the episodes are. They have the whole thing screwed up. So,
well, this episode was supposed to air on the 23rd?
Yeah, they had like that there was a week in between 5 and 6, but there wasn't. But it wasn't. Well, it was. Yeah. So I don't know. They have something wrong with the way it's listed, because is it on Mondays?
It's on Tuesdays.
Tuesdays.
Wednesday, technically Wednesday at 3 a.m.
Okay, because it says, I'm looking at a press release thing. It says 3:07 premieres Wednesday, February 26th. So they must have just somehow got it screwed up on our database, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was just seeing if they had, first look at me. That must be for the other I was saying if they have. Last time I was looking to see if they had.
I wonder if they got messed up because they showed 3 of them at a time the first time.
Maybe. I don't know. But there's probably, I'm assuming, a promo out, right? I didn't
Yeah.
watch it live, so I didn't look, but I'm assuming that there's a
All I
a
know is that
trailer.
Mr. Anderson's in it.
He
Oh,
comes
So,
back.
yeah, I think he picks up Sandra from rehab. That's a little bit I know about it. So,
mm,
because people are wondering where Mr. Anderson was, and I'm like, well, I
that's
guess he's
funny.
going to be back in.
I guess so. Um, yeah, I don't know. There's probably a trailer somewhere. I was trying to see if there was, but there's not new photos up yet.
Yeah.
And I'm
There's
guessing, yeah, I was trying to see. Yeah, I didn't understand why it said first look at. Oh no, these are of. I don't know if these are embargoed though, so I can't show
there's
them.
okay, I see there is a promo out for it for episode 7. There's a trailer preview for it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't
Cool.
see it yet, but I did find one online.
Yeah, there's also photos from 7 and 8. I'm not. It looks like they were already released though, so I don't know. The dates of things are. They must have had them out. They're just not on the press site. I don't know. It says 7 and 8, but they don't tell anything. It doesn't show anything, so it's not really helpful. Sorry, but I was just curious what was there. But I would like to see the trailer. I do need to look and go watch it because the way we watched it, I didn't get to see what was next, and I'm curious.
Mm-hmm.
But well.
At the end, when they are all at the corn maze, because I watched it very briefly, like with a half an ear, did Nicole and what's her name? Clara? No.
Claire.
Did Claire and Nicole run out to the cornfield too? Did we see what really happened with them at the end of this episode?
I don't think they showed, did they?
I don't think they showed them, right? But they got out of the car, and I think that was
They
the
did
last.
get out of the car, yeah.
But that's the last thing we saw. So I don't know if they were in the corn maze. I don't think they were. I think it was just Xavier. But I'm curious. Did you guys notice if they were at the corn maze or where they went?
I don't think they were, but that's why I said, like, I feel like they left it so open you're not sure what happened because we didn't actually see either Xavier or her interact with each other or other people. Like,
yeah.
He could be in
there's
either of them.
There's a bunch of people running up to Maddie, so who knows?
Well, but that could be running up to, Kyle's body too. That doesn't mean you necessarily see Maddie.
Yeah.
I just kind of hope it's not, like I said, I don't want him to have gone into Maddie because I feel like they've done that. I don't want to see that.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen because that's too much.
Yeah.
I think it would be too.
Because it would be like back to season 1 of School Spirits.
And I think if you went into Xavier, they'd be able to find out if Xavier, like, if Alfred went into Xavier's not going to want to go back to the hospital, right? So that would be one way they can tell if it's Xavier or not, because he would definitely take care of the hospital.
I don't know if Alfred makes good choices.
Yeah, that too. I think they all need to come up with a way, though, to that they all have like a secret, I don't know, message or something that if they think something's off, they can figure out it's not them in their body,
Like a code word, like albatross or something. Like albatross.
Like a code word. I'm serious.
Secret word.
Yeah, a code to know that you're the right person and not a ghost. That's funny. I don't know. But either way, it was left very open, so you're not sure what happened, and I feel like it could go any way. I just
so many questions.
Yeah, lots and lots of questions.
You got questions about the iPad? What Olivia did with the iPad?
Yeah, we didn't get to see about that.
Whose body? Who walked down the hall behind the nurse? We don't know anything about that. We still don't really understand how Maddie's red visions work.
Right.
Another question is that I kind of wondered. Like, we know that the thing that confuses me is we know that Van Height is in Kyle, but
yeah,
I kind of before wondered like if we know that Kyle's being 100% honest, and I don't know why I wonder that still, but I don't know. Sometimes I've wondered about him, and it makes me think like, could there be more to that than we even know? I don't know. I'm spitballing. I don't know. I don't have an answer to that. I just
I think it would make it too complicated for 2 more episodes.
Probably. I just still kind of hope that Van Height went into either Livy or her mother. Well, can't have gone in Livy. She was in the car. Went into her mother, because I think that could be really interesting.
Yeah.
Because if she's like either in somebody else's body or she's floating around and like either Xavier or Maddie can see her, there could be a lot of interesting things of like quit wanting, because we can't have them destroy the school, right? I mean, they've got to somehow get rid of that storyline. So like if she was like a ghost, she wouldn't want it to happen to her. So there'd be a reason for her to stop it from happening once she got back in her body.
Well,
so
they reattached the young Kyle to the old Kyle's body. He could put a stop to the donation that's supposed to make the high school.
Yeah.
Make that happen.
Yeah, but he was donating to make it happen.
Even though he's lost 20 years, he's a dairy farmer. He could probably go after Tracy again. You know, he'd have to be like not a jerk.
Right, but the only thing he was doing was
he'd have to explain to her he was in somebody was in his body.
Yeah, but the only thing that he was doing though was making the demolition happen faster, because he was saying that she was saying that he could do it in the middle of the school year or whatever. Right. So yeah. I don't know that he can necessarily stop it. He just was making it happen faster.
Well, I know you said you don't necessarily think that Alfred is smart. We don't know if he's like making good decisions, but I guess the smartest decision he would have made or could have made would have been to jump into Jennifer Tilly's body in order to continue with that project, right? To demo out the school, if that's what Alfred's goal is as well. I know he's helping, but he's got to be helping for a reason. He has to know that there's ghosts in the school. He has to want to kind of get rid of all of them, because that was his accident that he caused underneath the school with the original church. So I'm wondering if he's got an alternative motive and just wants to push that forward. And not for nothing, I was also thinking, since Jennifer Tilly wants this, like, what if Alfred had a wife? What if he pushed that wife into Jennifer Tilly's body and we don't even know about that? But that would be a huge big twist if Jennifer Tilly is working together with Alfred, because they're both are ghosts. Olivia would never know.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering, is it possible it could be in her too? I was thinking the same.
That's why I thought Kyle originally was Olivia's stepfather, because then Jennifer Tilly would have been married to him.
Yeah. You know, though, there was a woman down in that church, though. Remember?
Yes.
So, is it possible that there's more than one body that was snatched?
It could be. Like Jennifer Tilly could be that woman, like, jumped into Jennifer Tilly's body. Yeah.
That would probably explain why she's got such weird parenting advice, because it's like a whole nother century. We don't even do that anymore. I did a good job at making sure you don't know that life is unfair. What? You're not preparing your daughter. That is not okay. Yeah, unless you're from like the 1900s and you think like sheltering your child is the way to raise them.
Yeah, I know, right? So who do we think ran past in the hospital?
Well, now that we're talking about it, I'm thinking it's the woman from the church that we didn't see.
Yeah.
But how did she get from the church to the hospital? Unless they can jump scars, which we don't know. I'm just saying that would be an interesting thing if they could.
And that would be the reason why the elevator was open, right? Because if they're jumping through scars and they got into that room, they would open the elevator to get out of that scar to go to the next one and leave the door open.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's
why
I said, can we trust Kyle? Like, it could have been Kyle even. Yeah. Or I assume it's implying that it was Van Height in Kyle's body, but I mean, is it necessarily that? I don't know.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's that. But I thought Maddie had a vision where she couldn't go through the door that Van Height went through.
You mean the door when he shot his foot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought she tried that in her vision and it didn't open.
What do we know where that door is? I was wondering that too, because I couldn't place that location. Was that the school? Or was that that church? Was that an office from somewhere?
It looked
I thought it was a boiler room. Isn't hers mostly in the boiler room? Like her boiler room where she got separated?
That's kind of what I thought, but it looks more like an office or something.
Now that you have it up and I'm looking at it, I believe back in season 2, don't we see Mr. Martin standing in that same doorway and he closes the door on Maddie then?
Oh.
Do you remember what I'm talking about? There's a door that Mr. Martin closes and it looks just like that with the windows like that on the side.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, when Mr. Martin closes the door, Maddie's chasing after him. I wonder if it's the same door, and then that would imply, though, that he went into school.
Yeah, I don't. There are so many things that don't make sense at this point. I need to rewatch this episode. That's why I need to take time to start watching it.
Yeah, it's cool to think about all these possibilities, though.
Yeah.
No, it is. But I feel like I'm missing something. I don't know. I want to go
I'm
back.
just wondering if somebody went into if there was a switch, why would Jennifer Tilly and the soul in another body just take off for the corn maze like a crazy person, just start running?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like if it was you and you were suddenly in a man's body and you had no
I wouldn't
idea
run
what
towards
the hell was
right into a corn maze.
I
guess,
don't know. You might just
yeah.
run. You're scared. I don't know.
But you guys' point forward is that Jennifer Tilly is a big name actress, so therefore she would want to be the big bad, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I could see them making her Alfred towards the end to wrap up the show, right?
Eventually, in one of the episodes, because she's going to want to have her moment, right?
Right.
The big bad moment.
Yeah. Definitely. But yeah, I'm wondering if I think we might be onto something with them being able to jump scars in different locations.
Yeah.
Because that, now that I'm looking at this image that you have up on the screen, that reminds me so much of the Martin image from season 2, a lot.
Well, that could be the same room too.
Yeah. But they were only in the school, so like Martin couldn't get out of the school, right? So
isn't that the school? I think that
it could be part of the school because Maddie's thing has the boiler room, and she can have other parts of the school in there.
Yeah, I assume
they're physically in the corn maze at this point. So if they're physically in the corn maze, but then she sees the image of the school and he goes through that door, that would imply that he's in the school. But the physical body, obviously, he left the physical body, and that's why it fell in the corn maze. That's where the physical body is. But his spirit was able to go through the scar that leads him back into the school. So maybe they can actually move locations. I think Jamie or you might have said that, Scarlet, earlier. I think that would be a really nice way to open up the show a little bit more and show that how they can maneuver around.
Yeah, I assume, though, this vision isn't necessarily him moving right then, though. I thought this was more like, I don't know, something that happened before she's seeing. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. That's why I said there's so many.
I thought it was just her envisioning the spiritual part of what she was doing physically. Like there was a physical world and then there was this world happening simultaneously.
Well, do you see the red light on the left side?
Yeah.
That light, it has to be a scar that he's going through, even though there's a white light behind him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I
also an old timey light. Like it's not a kind of light you'd usually see in that kind of room in a school either.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to go back and find that episode in season 2 and kind of try to theorize, and I'll put something in there, for us to talk about for next week before we see the next episode.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Watch it. Yeah. I don't know. I want to go watch it. I just wish I had more time to watch them before we do our show. I just haven't, and I wish I had, because I feel like I'm not, like I said, I feel like I didn't get enough of it. Like I went too fast. So,
I was going to try to watch the last part more and watch where Xavier was, but then you know what happened? My tire blew.
Yeah, I know. It's been a lot of stuff.
So I had to fix my tire.
Well, now I can go watch it now and go theorize and figure out what's going on. Yeah, I don't know. I want to.
Yeah, because I mean, anybody could run up. Even Xavier could run up, and it could be a crisscross. Like he could act like, "Oh, Maddie, are you okay?" But he's actually Alfred inside. Like any of them.
Could be. That's
Jennifer Tilly could walk back to the car. And Olivia's like, "Mom, are you okay?" And he's, "I feel better. I feel better than I've ever felt before." Kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we don't know where Simon is, right?
Where is Simon? That's
we don't know where Simon is, because they all went through the water after Simon, right? All of them went through the water after Simon. They all wind up back in the library, but Simon's never seen. I wonder if he gets out.
I wonder if he goes where the kids are.
Ooh, yeah.
Would be interesting.
He saves the kids because he remembers the kids, so he's going to be thrown where the kids are, so he can save them.
Don't know.
I think it's a little interesting that we really haven't seen the kids in that basement. I know we see Ralphie come out, Mr. Moore, and identify him, and I think that's the same kid we mentioned before that Quinn sees, right? But we don't see any of the other 8 kids. So if they're, we see their hands all pulling in the water, I guess a couple episodes back, but we never physically see the kid ghosts. So I'm wondering if Simon is, like you said, with those kids, wherever those ghost kids are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that could be
interesting.
Remember.
Either way, this episode has given us a lot to think about. That's for sure.
That's what it says. It means remember.
It does. It means remember.
It's like watching the same show twice.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot to think about, and I don't know. Maybe when we come back next week, maybe we'll feel differently about what we think. Who knows if we rewatch it?
Well, I mean, I came up with this whole idea that like Kyle was Livia's stepfather, and that blew up on my face.
Well, hey, who knows?
Because he's the Dairy King of Split River.
Yeah, instead of the Dairy Queen. I still think that it would be interesting if there is two people though that have body.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
That would be cool. So
yeah, and it would make sense if it's that woman in the church that we saw, if that was Alfred's wife, and that she's taken over Jennifer Tilly's body somehow, some way. Yeah. And that's why they're kind of like in cahoots to do what they're doing. But I just kind of rewatched it, like, because I have it up still, the episode, so I kind of ran back. So just to clarify, Nicole, Claire, and Xavier all show up at the corn maze because Nicole and Claire are running through the corn maze, and when they hear the gunshot, they run. And Xavier comes around, and the last words Xavier says is, "What the hell is happening?"
Yeah, and then she says he's gone.
He's gone, right?
Who said what the hell is happening?
Xavier. He said, "What the hell is happening?" Because they come around, so all four of them are staring at a shot Kyle.
Yeah, because I just don't think. Like, I don't think Kyle willingly shoots himself and gives up the body, right? Like, that doesn't happen. So there's something else. That's why I said, like, we didn't actually.
I thought he did. I thought he did shoot his body.
No, but I mean, yeah, Alfred did. But I mean, like, that could imply, like, maybe he wants him to think that he didn't want to be them to do whatever he was afraid they'd do. So he unalived himself and like gave up is what I'm saying. I don't think that's the case, but I could see him trying to pull that off, and then he body hopped again. Right. Why I said we don't actually see. I don't think we actually see anybody interacting directly with Xavier or Maddie. Like you're right. You see him saying what happened, but you don't see them like talking to each other.
There's a big corn maze. You saw that map. That corn maze was insane.
Right. And when Maddie says he's gone, you don't know if she's talking to Xavier or if they can't even see Xavier, if she's just talking to Nicole and Claire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I mean. And she could be saying that and they could be like, where's Maddie? And like they're, we see her and they don't. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. That's true too.
What I'm saying. Like, there's no way to know if they're actually talking to each other or not. I think that they left the whole episode very open. With Xavier.
When Janet and the hippie chick went through the door, right? When they went through their own door and passed forward, did we see anybody ever try to open their door? Because Maddie couldn't open the door after Alfred shot himself and went through that door. Could that be his door and he chose to keep going and pass on? I don't think he would, because I think he's got motive, but
evil.
Yeah, but that'd be too boring. I thought
Maddie went to Dawn's door and there was all those marigolds and flowers.
Yeah, she did open the door, right? That's what I was trying to say. Like they could open the door after somebody passed through their scar still.
Yeah.
So the fact that she couldn't open this door, to me, was like, why can't she open the door? Unless the door really isn't there. It's because it's all in her mental state because of the vision that she's having.
Yeah. There's so many. I'm just kind of like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. But I keep thinking, I don't know. Hey, Debbie, thank you, Debbie.
What if they all switch bodies? Wherever all of them switch bodies with all of them.
Party flop episode, dance party.
Be like a Freaky Friday.
Yeah, exactly.
I just am like, I want to watch it again, and I want to see the next one. The end. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. Thanks, Debbie.
Well, the next title is a play on Midsummer, so I don't know if that's going to be, Midsummer culty thing or what that's going to be.
I don't know. On Errant Movie Database, it says after a shocking event, Maddie and Xavier come under suspicion as the living investigate a corrupt scheme. The ghosts search their scars for clues. Well, that's a possibility. Maybe he just unalived himself so they'd get blamed for it. Or he
jumped into another body and that person says, I saw it. I saw Maddie shoot this guy,
Yeah.
Be it Jennifer Tilly's character, be it any other person's character that's there.
Oh, now that you say all of that, I wonder if Olivia is up to her little spy recording and catches it on that's what her whole purpose is.
That's what she does. Yeah, that's what she does.
So I wonder if she noticed Nicole and in Lake Claire and like ran after them and is like hiding in the corn maze recording something. We haven't seen that yet, but that's a possibility too.
Yeah. Well,
I just
she's gonna get blamed for it because that's the Maddie thing.
That's why I also thought it was interesting as I was thinking, like, if it would be Jennifer Tilly's character, like her daughter could end up talking to them because they know what's going on too. That's why I was thinking like that storyline could get
Yeah, I feel like Olivia's gonna get dragged into this somehow.
Yeah. Well, it would make sense if it was in her mother, if he was in her mother, but I don't know that's the case. I just, for whatever reason, that was what I automatically thought right away.
Well, if Jennifer Tilly is a ghost, right? Deborah Hunter Price, if she is like been body snatched, right, and is possibly Alfred's wife or the woman from the church, I could see her jumping into Olivia's body to stay younger and to stay alive. And like you said, the consequences don't matter. I could see that happening and her doing some type of damage to Maddie at that point.
I don't know, but the fact that he said that I keep coming back to is the fact that he said to them that that the ring's probably been in his family longer than that, which makes me think it's implying he's older than we think he is and was somebody else before he was him. But also the fact
that reminds me of the movie Skeleton Key.
Oh, I remember that movie.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Well, if he is older, then he might have purposely killed the kids, right, in order to pick a body.
Could be, yeah, or at least the ones on the bus. But anyway, my point is that also the fact that he says there's no consequences, I feel like is important, and that would make sense if he unalived his own. Well, it's not his body, but the body he was in order to have happen whatever he wanted to happen. You know. Because he's like, there's no consequence. I'm just going to take another body type of thing. I don't know. Just that line seems important to me. So I don't know. All right. Well, I'm all out of ideas. I feel like I'm circling the drain here, repeating.
Okay. Why did Alfred say to Maddie, "You're a lucky girl"?
Ooh.
That's on my note list. That's my question.
I wonder if it's because she can see the ghosts.
When did he say that?
When he was at the door.
Yeah.
Right
at this point, right here. Either that or because he knows he's setting her up and framing her for murder.
Maybe. Or maybe she's
unlucky.
The thing is, we don't really know though that what she's seeing is like real. I mean, maybe she's seeing what another ghost saw or something, like, or that happened to somebody else. You know what I mean? Like,
I felt like it was her perception of what the spiritual world was doing, and with the physical, like her own personal kind of perception.
Something. Yeah, I don't know.
I have is the ring a key in my questions.
Oh, I definitely think the ring is a key because the ring, remember, the ghosts have the ring in the school that they got from the white-eyed guy, but yet Kyle's older body is wearing it. So I definitely think it's a key to reset.
But that's the other question. Simon brought it out.
Oh, did he? I might have missed that. I'm sorry.
Because I thought he was showing, wasn't he showing Maddie the ring? Maybe I'm getting it mixed up. I thought he showed it to them outside of the scar. Because isn't that how she knows when she sees that Kyle has it, when she says, "I like your ring"? I thought that was why, because she saw it.
Because Simon showed it to her. I thought he showed it to her in the school though, and it's like he has it, so it stayed with him.
Oh, and it's like his yeah, but wouldn't it have disappeared?
So I was thinking it was a reset the way Yuri had reset the daisy.
Yeah, which is why I'm saying maybe it's a key. I don't know.
Right.
I'm at this point so confused. I'm just
well, that would if it is a key, that would explain why Alfred here in this moment is able to go through a door, maybe to go through a scar if he has his key because he's wearing the ring.
Yeah, I don't
know. So many possibilities.
so many. Yeah.
With a stone that's red as the blood of his enemies.
Ah. I like that.
Yeah, thank you. Right off the top of the dome.
I love that. Right on, Scarlet. You got some good one-liners.
Yeah. Well, I do writing, so I write. So, you know.
She's happens. Amazing. All right. Is there anything else? Or
any other questions here?
I think we've kind of gone over everything. Anybody else in the chat have any questions? Everybody's gotten kind of quiet. I think a lot of people are maybe at watch parties or something. I don't know. There haven't been tons of people, but we thank those of you who stuck with us and who watched it with us and have talked about it.
You know what? I found Kyle's joke. He said dairy calls instead of duty calls.
Oh,
He went dairy calls, and everybody's like, "Woo!
Oh,
Time to party!"
they should have gone moo. Sorry.
That'd be funny. That'd be funny. But I think
I did take some notes here with the music too. Nobody buys up was pretty good, and then there was another one that was Back on You by DJO. Some call outs.
What was the band that you mentioned earlier, Scarlet, that you said in the very beginning of the stream? You had mentioned a band. There was like a really cool name of a band that you said, and I forgot it.
Car seat headrest.
That's it. Car seat headrest.
That's such a weird name.
Yeah.
Very strange. That is strange.
It's like Death Cab for Cutie. I like all those
You
names.
gotta be unique. You can search it on the internet.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
you can't use a word like "from" as the name of your show because you can't search on the internet.
Yeah.
I still don't understand.
Like the band Churches puts a V in their name, so you can search churches with a V. That kind of thing.
Come up with a way to do it. I mean, there are ways to do it, but especially on social media, it makes it really hard. And
you know how hard it is for me to research from stuff.
I have to type in from TV show and then whatever it is that I need to see or watch.
Also, I type in MGM Plus or Epix, you know?
Yeah, one of those things usually works, but it doesn't work so well on social media. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
It makes it really annoying. But
School Spirits is kind of rough too sometimes because it's kind of generic, like School Spirits.
Kind of, but it's not as bad as From.
Well, when I put in School Spirits, sometimes I get high school videos in my YouTube feed.
School Spirit, yeah.
Well, especially if they have keys as they're in there somewhere in their like high school name or stuff like that, or they have anything in common with this high school, like the same mascot, like a devil or something, and they'll come up.
Yeah. Marketing departments, I don't know. Maybe they should have thought about it a little more. But it is what it is.
I don't know. It's appropriate. It works.
Yeah, it does. I think
if they expand through the town, though, it isn't so much School Spirits. It's like Split River Spirits.
I know. That's what I was thinking. They could have called it like The Forgotten or something, but I think there's already been a show called that. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Almost. Who knows? If
School Spirits, you also know it's teenagers too. So.
True. It does fit it. I just think it'd be interesting if they can go outside the school and we find that out. Doesn't mean we will, but it would be cool if that happened.
I think it's interesting, Jen's idea that Rhonda take over Livia's body.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that too. That's good. I like that. All right. Well. Okay. Well, I think that's about it. We're kind of.
I think we've exhausted all options.
I think we have. We're starting to slow down. We're repeating, but. All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching. Like I said, if you stuck with us live, we really appreciate it. Please make sure you like the video, hype it if you can, subscribe to SciFi Vision, check out scifivision.com for our interviews as well as the video tab. And we have some more stuff going up soon. I just did Monarch today. So that'll be a little bit yet, but there's some cool stuff coming up. So check all that out. And I will see you guys again Tuesday at 10 Eastern for Fandom Access. Where we have more Starfleet Academy and the finale of Seven Kingdoms, as well as Paradise we'll be doing on Tuesday. That starts. When do you guys have yours? I know you both have different times, but...
I am actually going to be live tomorrow night with Lori from Real Cinema Therapy. We're going to cover the finale for Cold Water. We postponed it. We had a family emergency, so we're actually doing that tomorrow at 10 o'clock on her channel.
Awesome.
Yeah.
When's your next one, Scarlet?
I do believe it's Saturday. There's probably going to be a watch party for episodes 3 and 4 from on Julie B's Deep Dives channel at, I'm going to say 6 p.m. And then there's going to be a live after on Saturday, I suppose, but you should probably subscribe to her channel so you can get updates on that.
Yeah.
We did a rewatch of 1 and 2 on Wednesday, and then there was a live tonight.
Well, I was going to say, I don't think I ever pinned my Discord. I just pinned it now. It would go pop up to the top. If you haven't, please make sure you join our Discord as well for our schedule and everything else. But otherwise, I will see you guys on Tuesday. And yeah, thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Good night.
Almost the weekend. Have a good weekend.
Talvias on Shianen Ya Volkanen.